Welcome back, everyone, to Abomination Vaults, episode 18 on the Undeniably Good Time Entertainment Network. Well, our explorers are still trapped. But first, thank you to Chef ZJ-sa, for your subscription 15 months in a row. I did my best. But our heroes are indeed still trapped on this level of the Abomination Vaults. No sign of being able to escape. And indeed, with Mocker's passing in the last episode, falling to that strange shadow that consumed both him and Corwin. Only Corwin made it out in one piece.
Don't talk to me. I'm upset.
He's upsetty, a little upsetty. With Calbum nowhere to be found, that leaves the explorers down to a mere 3 as the dungeon whittles away at them. Mocker's body has been secreted away in an alcove, apparently in no risk of rising again thanks to his Serenite protection, but nonetheless, it may not be too much longer before the others join him. Or maybe not. Perhaps they will find out what's keeping them here and find a way to escape. When last we left our heroes, after temporarily interning Mocker's body, sounds so much better than saying they stashed him.
Yeah, well, I mean,
sounds so much better.
Both apply.
Yeah, both apply.
If I remember right, we went all the way back to
Atari's Island.
Yeah.
Yep. And so there indeed he lies. You rested, treated your wounds, and made it back to the Temple of Nimbeloth, now in much worse condition than when you first arrived, although with much less undead in it, so really worse.
Win-win situation.
It is. You know, you win some, you or in that case. Yeah, exactly. Certainly by Nimbeloth standards, this is a worse place to be. But here you are. Certainly you're passing by the pavilion in the cave that contained it, showed that the exits out of this place were still quite sealed with that strange, foggy barrier. And there you sit.
And so we're on the island still.
Nope, I moved
back.
you back
Okay,
up to the temple.
Okay.
Go through the stairways and everything.
Excellent.
Find the door again.
If I were to look around for a recently forgotten bones gem, would I be able to find it?
Looking around through the chipped and cracked altar, the chopped up pieces of hands, you actually do find him, Bones, as he was inhabiting your fish skeleton, which was also possessed by that leshy tanglevine throughout it, was quite unceremoniously ripped to pieces when you sent him in to investigate the altar ahead of you. But his gem seems to have survived, clattering, apparently unnoticed, and to lay in the corner amongst the dust, slowly pulsing.
Pick that up. Whoops. Sorry about that. I won't forget you next time. Whoops. I'll pat the pocket.
The gem makes no response, but perhaps the pulsing light flickers ever so slightly. Tinge of possibly gratefulness, possibly annoyance, possibly resignation.
Yes. Calm thyself. It won't happen again. Sorry. And then I'll go back to
So fun fact about Bones, because he was possessed by the animating force of the vines, Bones was actually Borbo and your plant leshy were driving him at the same time. So if you're ever wondering why Bones seemed to bump into things or not really like what he was being sent off to do, that's the reason.
Yes. I'd be that way, and half of it would be no, and the other half would be yes.
But with this place still laying before you, one thing that you will notice is that if you wanted to make your way back up here, up through the stairs, that the doors all seem to close, seemingly by themselves, leaving them open or even propping them open. Doesn't seem to really help. As soon as you leave a door alone when you come back to it, whether you've left it open or even tried to prop it open. It all seems to just have closed on its own somehow.
And now I'm mildly curious if we just open one and watch it, what happens?
Might as well.
Mild curious. I gotta take the little wins right now.
Alrighty then. Super. Open the door and we just stand there watching it.
The literal definition of watching paint dry in a haunted dungeon.
Mhm.
After about a minute, the door will slowly start to swing shut. A little slight squeak of hinges, a little puff of dust, and then it will just gently close.
Well, there you go.
Hey, at least it isn't some weird thing walking around behind us closing the doors. I mean, as long as
Or-
it's just like hinges, that's fine.
Maybe. Well, I was kind of hoping it was something that was like a door closing kind of monster. That seems very unique and interesting.
I mean, they make
Well, I feel attacked.
wizards, they have them like unseen servant things that just kind of like do menial tasks. So maybe it's one of them.
Where, hypothetically, where would I find one of those?
Well, they're invisible, so it's kind of the whole unseen thing.
Scott in
Right.
South Dakota, a hero point for Jen. I can do just 1 point today, so this is for Jen without delay. We don't want her new character. We don't know what her new character is yet. She will need this. I can just bet.
That is very true.
That
Thank you,
is
Scotty Seuss.
Very
Yes.
true. There you are.
So how fast am I adding some hold soul values to your combat card?
Pierced resistance. Even coal burns to ash. Oh, how appropriate.
You
Hmm.
can't escape the thaumaturge life.
Neat.
Nifty.
Well,
Yes, indeed.
Thank you, Scott.
There's a door over there, or there's this big open hallway.
And indeed, that big open hallway does appear to have a pulsing light down the end of it.
And if while we're kind of hanging out in this just generally around, is there anything? I know that there were markings on the wall in that room.
They're still
generally,
there.
like,
They
when-
haven't been completely demolished by the activities, which
Oh.
primarily occurred in the center. But yeah, no, the markings. This was a temple to Nimbleoth.
Okay.
And so the carvings on the walls, the room itself is practically empty,
Okay.
which seems to be kind of a common theme. Unlike other types of religions or cults, you don't have like pews or prayer mats or even any kind of indication. It is empty, and that seems to be the way they like it. The walls themselves, however, are decorated both with carving and with paint, showing open graves with specters being pulled upwards, apparently not very happy about it, screaming upwards to swirl together. And again, that baleful star-shaped eye seems to be staring down at you on the floor from the high domed ceiling. This icon appears to be what seems to be sucking the specters up into it.
Are we leaving the room like this? Is it like deactivated?
I mean, y'all seem to handle the altar. It's upside down now, so
The altar is
I guess-
indeed pretty beat up.
I guess that's how whatever this magic is works. I don't know.
Okay. Well, it would be hard to disrupt the eye anyways. It is very tall up there.
Yeah. And I don't think we can get Drevin that high to smash at it.
Not
True.
quite that tall, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure if you tried to stand on my shoulders, you just kind of crush me.
For sure.
If you wore a trench coat, it would look like you skipped leg day.
Well, I
have one.
suppose we should keep going up.
Well,
Hallway first while we're here.
it's
Oh,
open.
right.
We don't really have a way to stop stuff from coming, so best to check it.
Alrighty.
All right.
Creepy hallway, let's go.
So heading south towards Creepy Hallway, as it has been noted,
With merry smiles on our faces.
with merry smiles on your
skipping
faces.
and
You
cajoling.
go, and as you move down this hallway, you can see that the walls of this hallway are lined with what appear to be sort of slabs of stone, kind of is set at intervals. But when you get closer to them, they are in fact sarcophagi designed to hold corpses. And in fact, this becomes particularly apparent because as you walk up to them, and get within easy viewing distance, the surface of the sarcophagus actually turns into a transparent sheen, allowing you to view the corpse who is interred within them. The corpses themselves don't appear to have any grave goods in them. However, there is a token of them that seems to have been buried there, as well as a sort of a plaque above the corpse, apparently identifying them. And as for why they're here, it seems as though that Belcora, when she set this up, had a rather, what would you call it, adversarial relationship with everyone here. Corwin in particular, you're going to notice right away that you have supposed hero of Chansa. And Chansa rings a slight bell for you, but it was an old story of a town which no longer exists out in the western hinterlands west of Absalom. It seems as though Belcora might have had something to do with its downfall, and indeed this corpse is interred here. Another that quite strikes your interest, though, is when you come across them, there is another corpse here wearing sort of a leather reinforced robes, and the placard over them simply says "Willful Traitor."
This is probably someone of interest.
And in fact, another will kind of appear on the right as it clears off, and again, "Willful Traitor." Odd looking of them, but again, these corpses appear to be withered and long dead. Possibly Belcora set this up to gloat over them. However, as you pass between these two, their eyes actually will light up with a baleful red light. The traitor ones that you've seen, that just sort of pierce out at you, looking back at you through this sarcophagus lid. And they will lurch and reach back a fist and smash it into the sarcophagus, jarring it, settling it a bit aside. It seems that they have seen you and are trying to break out. And that sounds like an excellent time for some initiative.
Yeah.
It's 20 total. 9 on the die.
20 for Nil.
Also a 20 total. Did you also get a 20 total?
21.
Say 20. It doesn't matter what the dice says. It's funny.
21.
21. Who wants to go first between Draven and Nil?
Probably best for me to go first.
Perfect. Okay.
And here we have it. So, let's get you on the map. Moving on down, the first sarcophagus is going to be violently punched open and pulled to the side.
Wow, look at that character art. That is awesome. I love it.
What, this guy?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the Karen, these things, they're neat.
These things, yeah. And hauling their sarcophagi lids open with a grinding of stone, they'll both stagger forward, leaping out of their sarcophagus entombment to
Recall
swing
knowledge.
at the both of you, both Corwin and Draven, who are in the front here.
Our exploration activities. I'm recalling knowledge.
You're recalling knowledge? What would Corwin have been doing?
Searching.
Searching. And Nil
As well.
as well?
Oh, the perception one. Is
Perception
that
one.
is searching.
That's
right?
searching, yeah.
Yeah, I thought so.
Keeping an eye
yeah.
out for dangers.
Perfect. All right, well then, we're just going to be swinging away. So, Draven, we have a 29.
That will hit.
And on Corwin, we have an 18.
That will miss.
That will miss. All righty.
Feast and famine.
So you're going to take 10 points of slashing damage as this rusty longsword cuts into you, drawing some blood.
Fort save for lockjaw.
Fort save for something. Go ahead and give
Tetanus.
me a fort save.
Alrighty, that is an 8 on the die for an 18.
18. You feel sort of a slight burning in the wound and also a chill, but suffer no ill effects at the moment.
No, they
Just
got
adding-
cold fire.
Just adding more and more status effects for the worry about it later pile.
There you go. That's the spirit. And with a grinding, kind of like a hissing sound, the white seems to almost swell a bit from its empowering itself as it has pulled away some of your life force. Corin, what would you like to do?
Going to just hoping to move before this thing can properly like get its bearings coming out. Dive over to the one in front of Drevin to position more tactically.
Absolutely. Quickly sliding in behind this white to get its back. The whites seem to be quite strong, but have slow reactions. You managed to slip past them without too much trouble.
Gonna see if I think I'm gonna be able to stab this thing pretty well, because it's still looking at me as I move.
Looking for an opening.
13 on the die. I think a 24 is gonna hit.
That sounds like a
So-
reasonable thing. You want to try to gamble it?
I mean, yeah, that's what I'm doing. Is
All
devising
right.
the stratagem.
Well, I mean, just because you devise it doesn't mean you can change your mind.
So,
But if you don't try it with a 13, I would think that's the
That-
morale problem on your part.
yeah, I mean, I'm trying with a 13.
Okay.
So that's gonna be 24 total.
You effortlessly slip its guard and
Versus flat-footed.
take advantage of it, sliding your rapier home.
Alrighty, so it's gonna be 3d6. 4, 4, and a 6, so 14, 18 damage.
18 damage, brutal thrust, very powerful.
Gorwin's not happy particularly today, just wants everything in this dungeon dead.
And you have
That's
full
all 3
turn.
actions.
And a crashing of stone occurs as another grinding set of hands prizes apart another. Here it is. Another sarcophagus. A creature will stumble out and approach Corwin from behind, and we are again getting the flank conga line set up, as we know and love so well. Again, rusty swords swinging down at you for a 29.
That's definitely gonna hit.
But not crit.
Not great.
Nope,
That's pretty
Not your
good.
flat
It
foot.
got pretty close.
Got pretty close, but not quite. That's the important thing. 13 slashing damage as this thing cuts down through your back, and you give me a fortitude save.
Not my best save. 17.
17. So this thing slashes through your back, and your body burns with this sort of, almost like you feel your wound is bubbling, but at the same time, a chill runs through you. You are drained 1.
We found the DC.
You found
Yep.
the DC. I was like, there's no way Drevin's going to fail this. And he's like, 18. I'm like,
Didn't fail.
So how about that?
I only have a plus 10.
Oh, what was that all?
That's not crazy.
No, it's true. It's because Pathfinder's a balanced game.
Exactly.
And
It's gonna be 4 more damage.
Drevin, you're up.
I believe the one in front of me took a solid hit. Well, I guess first exploration activity, recall knowledge.
Yeah, let's
what
give
are
it to
these
you.
things?
Let's see here. You've got a pretty good idea. Your religion, as I recall, is pretty decent.
Plus 9.
So, yeah, you recognize these things. These things are cairn whites. So, whites are a bit more powerful than your typical undead. They can be, they have rudimentary tactics. They tend to keep a malicious sort of personality to themselves, even. And the power that is animating them tends to be stronger because whites stay at the place of their burial. That seems to be their link to how they're able to sort of steep themselves in power. So, Assassin 221, hero point for Corwin. So sorry about the cousin.
Yeah, don't worry. I'm coming for you.
He's going to investigate you with
Um,
a scalpel.
So, what you know about Cairn Whites? That they are they're quite powerful. They're way stronger than your average zombie. They also have the ability to literally rip the life out of people. By dealing damage, they heal themselves.
I did feel that.
Yes, you did feel that.
I felt quite a bit of that.
Yep. But you also know that they have the ability to project a sort of a sense of mortality from them. By drawing on their place of their entombment, they can take that sense of claustrophobic death and impose it on people. It would be best if you could steel yourself for that, because though you haven't felt it yet, it's almost for suredly coming.
I'll just pass on heal from hurt and brace yourselves for mental effects. That's very basic. No one needs to know the backstory of what these things are. Their name, what they do.
Assassin 221, hero point for nil. So sorry about your sister for Corbin.
There you go.
Pass it over.
So just their name, what they do, and then swing a mallet.
Alrighty, sounds good.
I got strike true. You've got one chance, so make it count.
I always catch your breath. Just take a moment. Then get back in there. Well,
It's my middle name.
from a distance.
You get back in there.
From a very safe
From a
distance.
safe distance.
Oh no, last fight we got the shillelagh shenanigans.
That's true.
So swinging the mallet down at this one.
Yep.
Quickly barking out what they are.
Yep.
But not 20.
What?
He
Oh
did-
no.
Death.
We're on
Bonk.
that side of fate again. Oh no.
Alrighty.
Look, we can't have all the fights go bad for us.
Max damage.
That is both.
That's a 12 and a 6.
Don't forget your Shining Oath.
Why don't you just give me a total?
Oh boy. Yeah. So, Shining Oath is on Retributive
All
Strike.
right.
Because I was like, where do I factor that in? No. Okay, so 44 damage.
Okay.
As Saren Ray's holy light smites this thing.
This thing gets smashed to the floor. You
20,
hear,
a 12, and a 6.
You hear these bones actually shattering. Assassin 221, villain point. Jen said hi to God, I guess. Thank you.
I just introduced this man to God.
All right. And this you see these bones break and shatter as this thing collapses into a heap. And then you see it twitch and haul itself back up. The half that you hit is broken and hanging useless, but it still is staring at you with these baleful red eyes. It is not down.
Alrighty. And I don't know if positive damage matters, but I do have a disrupting rune. Or I guess spirit damage. Some
they
things
have
have a
weakness.
weakness to it.
So you're doing what is it called, vitality damage,
Yeah, it's
right?
vitality.
Yeah, I mean, it's appropriate. It's an undead. So. Did you not roll that last time?
I did.
Okay,
I was
that's
just
what I
letting you know if they have a particular weakness, they do take a d6 of vitality.
Okay, yeah. Which you included in the damage.
Yes.
Yeah, perfect.
And then swinging again as this thing didn't go down after righteously being smashed by a hammer.
They're tough.
Not for long. Oh, only a 6, as that second strike will miss. And then I will actually 5-foot step into flanking.
Zoop. Pushing your way up between the two of them.
Do your best, Nil. They shouldn't go after you.
Okay.
Oh, the last one should have been a hero and a villain point from a saint. Okay, and so
I
then
think it went to Jen.
yeah, I
Like
think
hero
to
point
Jen,
to
and then
Jen
there you
and
go.
you.
That makes sense. All right, cool.
Thank you. Last ounce of strength to my last breath. Aw, gee, how appropriate.
All
We'll get there
righty,
eventually.
Nil.
Okie dokie. Nil. I'm going to straighten up. I see the tombs here basically as the traitors, and I'm like, my brethren over here, I will avenge you. And I'm like kind of swinging my staff again a little bit, very awkwardly, as kind of more of like a sword type weapon. Very awkward. Not the way it's supposed to be used, and also very poorly done on my part. But, the thought is there.
Oh, one other thing.
Yes.
With Dreven's warning, I will let you spend one of your actions to brace yourself mentally if you would like.
That sounds lovely.
Just saying, it's an option.
Yeah. And I'll be like, so these either join us and bring the hammer down as I look towards Dreven, towards this Belcora. And I'm going to look at the one that was down. You could do with a little less life, I feel like.
Doesn't have any life at all, in fact. It's
No,
the
he took-
opposite of life.
He tried to take some from Drevin.
He did. He
Yeah,
tried.
that's
He
true, that's
did,
true.
actually. He did successfully take some from Drevin.
I took
And
it
I'm
right
going
back.
to like point the wand out basically as a sword, but it looks more like a wand in this scenario. It is still very large, but I'm quite strong. And I am going to cast Disrupt Undead.
There we
So
go.
fort save, please.
Fort save on this guy. Okay. He's gonna get a 29.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well if my CDC's 19, does that crit succeed?
20. It will crit succeed, so he'll
Okay.
take no damage.
He's already had all of the undead disrupted out of his body.
And I'm like,
it's just momentum, really, that's holding him
Yeah.
together.
and I will haha. Nothing happens of
Well,
much.
you go to pull it out, and what you feel is you see this energy go to try to pull this energy from him, and it actually almost pulls it out of the sarcophagus, throwing through him. So again, kind of what Drevin was kind of briefly shouting. The place of this thing's death and entombment is where it's drawing power from. And so, yeah, your Disrupt Undead was basically you would grounded it like lightning. Got an action left.
Any way we can move these, as I am a little more wary, and I will basically try and ground myself. They're grounding them, I'm gonna ground myself as well, and try and not. I'm going to take the ground action.
Okay, that's that bracing yourself mentally
Bracing,
thing,
yes.
wasn't it? All right. Why don't just at this point you'll hear another kind of booming kind of happen. Actually, where would that be? Corwin is actually able to see that the Corwin's able to see that the sarcophagus lid, because you're close, is transparent. And what was once this mummified corpse of this hero of Chanta, in quotation marks, a sort of light will flare out of it, and a twisting pattern will seem to warp the very space. And
Crap, we got another one coming.
where once this corpse was is instead a small figure of what appears to be a young woman, clad in shadowy black armor, wearing a mask, who will open her eyes, blink briefly, and her eyes will set on the cairn white in front of her, and she will reach her hand out and punch into the sarcophagus lid. Why don't we roll some initiative for this person?
Runa, Kohod, Imeon! You'll hear in a language you have no idea what it is. And of course, we roll a 1.
That's
but you know what?
appropriate.
That's really appropriate.
Yeah,
Where
because
we're
you're
doing
punching
it.
your way out
I'm
of a...
punching my way out of a sarcophagus.
Actually, what is that total?
10.
That's a 10. Okay, right here. Literally just below nil.
First
You're
roll
baned.
over here.
Oh,
you're
right.
also baned.
No, that's not an attack roll.
Well, it's not an attack roll or
That's
something.
a-
I thought we were
initiative.
attacking the coffin.
Oh,
No,
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 that's
just
an initiative roll.
Okay, you're safe for this roll.
Actually, though, I will... athletics for initiative, not perception.
Oh, in that case, that's a 13.
A 13. What did Nil get?
For what
20.
perception?
20,
Okay.
right? It was a 20. Yeah,
Yeah.
flat 20. Yeah, it's okay. That doesn't matter. All right, perfect. Alrighty. Well, we're back to these things. So we've got... well, Drevin is nicely there. So the one that is completely, like, broken, mostly broken, is going to haul back its head, and a moan will echo out. Everyone give me a will save.
Okay.
20 total.
Do I get any bracing effects?
You will get a bracing effect, actually. I've got you.
16.
That might be worth re-rolling.
30 total.
30 total. Okay.
19 on the die. I am very braced. I've never seen someone so braced.
24.
A 24. Okay. So you, within the confines of this sarcophagus, you're actually going to be okay. You're definitely okay. This was a what for?
20 total.
A 20 total. You're frightened too, as
Oh my
this
gosh.
icy cold hand seizes your heart. And Corwin got a
16.
A 16. You are also going to be frightened too, as this wave kind of, you feel your heart quail, and this thing is going to swing its sword up almost with straight momentum, clashing it against Dreven's armor for 22 flanked.
That will hit. Without the flank, that would have hit because of that matches my AC.
Oh, well, there you go then. So 13 slashing damage on Dreven, and you see it swell a little bit. Actually, noticeably better. You'll see the shoulder actually socket itself back together. And I'll need a fortitude save from Dreven.
Definitely pass. That's a 24.
A 24, you're okay.
22, right into
22, yeah.
And then on the other side, a perfectly healthy Karen White is going to, well, healthy is relative, I suppose.
Is he also going to bark?
No, he's going to start wailing on you with his longsword, rusty as it is. So we have a 22.
That'll hit.
We have a like an 8,
Almost.
and then we have a 21.
That'll hit.
Flanked.
We're looking for 18 right now because I'm also frightened too.
Alrighty, so let's see here. That's going to be 18, 26 slashing damage all told. And this thing is going to swell up. But particular, you are going to notice that despite the fact that it hits you multiple times, it only seems to get so much energy from wailing into you. However, I'm going to need 2 fortitude saves.
That is a fail. Not a crit fail, but I rolled a 2 on the die.
Okay.
And also a fail. 2 fails.
2 fails. You are drained 2.
I am unconscious.
And Dreven falls down.
Dreven, I'm going to...
It's undying.
Oh, that's right.
But it's good. That's good that you don't need to do that. Corwin.
Well, can't have Dreven on the ground. Medicine check. Battle medicine first.
They do not seem to be have good enough reflexes to stop you.
Yep. That's gonna go. You just need to get standing, my guy. So I'm just going for trained. I got a -2 on this right now. 15 on the die exactly, so that's gonna be a success for 2d8 plus 9. 8 plus 9, so 17 health. So at least enough to get you standing.
Yeah.
Or
Some antiseptic and some smelling salts, and Dreven is nearly right as rain.
yeah, just a quick. Put that in your mouth.
Candy.
Just
Is it reduced to 0? I thought it was die.
Nope,
It's reduced to 0 hit points?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, then go ahead.
So I will, you'll feel, yourself, how much were you dead by?
So, order of operations. First hit, then drained. Second hit,
Then drained.
then the drained would have put me down, and the drained would only do 4.
Be 4 points of damage.
Yes.
In
All right.
So I would have only gone down by 2.
In which case, you don't go down.
I think you'll still be up by 1 health then.
No, you'll be
Because you
up.
take it, right?
I take, up to 7 health.
So you take 4 points of damage,
Yep.
and you're still up.
So I would be at 2 health.
Yep.
No, you would, the
Because
drained would still hit you. You still have the drain condition, but the health you would lose, she takes it instead. So you're
Yeah, so I'd still
up.
have 2 health.
You still have 2 health.
Because
yeah.
I went
He was
down
at
to
6.
4 damage.
Perfect,
From
okay.
2.
So you'll feel, energy flow into you from,
Yeah.
the direction of the sarcophagus, and you won't go down.
So,
Okay. Order of operations matters when you're dealing with drained and a hit.
Yep.
well, because you didn't go down, it means that you don't drop an initiative either, because you go right
Exactly.
before the guy who dropped you. I'm assuming, would you still like to battle medicine Dreven, who's
Yes.
nearly dead?
Still looks very not.
Though, if he's looking better,
He's not looking better.
No,
He's
no.
looking nearly dead.
I look like I'm about to fall unconscious.
Oh, but you're saying you'd rather try for expert?
I would have tried for expert and I would have risked.
And you would have riskied?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
But I know I passed at this point and he's already standing, so. Yeah.
you want to rewind time? Let's not rewind time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just take the
I'm
17 health.
We're
All
already
right.
here.
So you've got 2 actions left.
The joys of new characters. We're learning how they work.
There you go.
Second action is going to be trying to tumble through this guy.
Which guy?
Directly, like, going towards Nil.
Going towards Nil. Sounds good
Because-
to me.
I just want to not be in flank.
You're a
with
little
these
surrounded
guys.
right now. Yeah, exactly.
I'm not in a great spot.
Give me that acrobatics check.
Yeah, it's not great, but it's probably easier than going between them. That's probably not going to pass though. That's only a 12.
Only a 12, huh?
Yeah, because
Somehow
of frightened
still
too.
Not a critical failure.
Well,
but I believe that just means that you
Can try again.
You can try again, but it does have the attack trait, right?
it
don't
does
think it
not.
does.
No.
Yeah,
No.
so you can tumble through.
It's just if you fail, you stop where you were trying to move.
Well, there you go.
Basically, it's really bad if you're in the middle of trying to move. But
Oh wait, I can just move through Drebin, can't I?
Probably. I think that's because you
Yeah,
could
it's
give
moving
way.
through an ally.
Yeah,
He's
that's up
difficult
to you.
terrain, but that's up to you, depending on if we can.
They're
in
not
this way.
that. They don't have attack of opportunity apparently because they hadn't
Okay.
hit you when you used battle medicine.
Then yeah,
so-
I'd probably just move through Drebin rather than trying to do that.
Sounds good. Up you go. So you move up. Are you trying to stay within melee range of any of these guys, or are you done?
Trying to stay within melee range of the one on the left.
Okie dokie. Sounds good.
But that'll be all because that's 3 actions.
Yep. Sounds good. All right. This thing is going to turn and see the pounding on the sarcophagus, and is going to raise the sword and ready to swing down. Looks like it's waiting for you. It appears to have some kind of tactics in mind. All right, Drevin, what's you up?
what did I feel when I didn't go down? Like,
So it would have been. Did you want to take it?
Yeah. You felt a rush of vitality. Like, it felt different than your magic, but not dissimilar in spirit. Just a different side of the same coin. You felt life itself flow into you. It felt pure.
okay. Then, with that in mind, I think I will stay where I am. And I will lay on hands myself, regrip my mallet, and take another swing trying to slam this one back into its sarcophagus where it came from.
Sounds good. Roll it.
And that is a 1.
Man, feast or famine with your dice, man.
But I get my 12 health and 2 AC.
Drevin valiantly standing. Nil.
I'm quite surprised that there's just another girl here.
Exchange student.
Yeah. Okay. A little bit look at the one that's looking like readying an action basically to looks like it's quite aggressive to something that came out of the same place. Weird.
Different sarcophagus.
Oh, different. Well, it's still my same idea.
Oh, yeah,
Same idea.
Definitely a sarcophagus. There was a corpse in there, so.
Oh, yes. Looking great over there. Gonna have to figure out what they embalmed that one with. And then I will try and this time with a little bit more force, try and reel like a fishing line, reel back and get some of this undead energy out of the one that is kind of standing.
Kind of standing, kind of, sort of.
Fort save.
Well, you got a little bit better that time. That's a 21.
Okay, so just a regular success. So that is a 9 plus 3 is a 12, half, so 6.
6 damage. The glow has kind of sucked down a bit and it shrivels back down. The arm pops back out of the socket and it starts to limp a little bit more.
And then as my... I actually did like mentally preparing myself for this moment. But I also, I think what I might actually do is just... Atta boy and guidance Corwin.
There you go. All right. Let's move on to our new friend.
Eyes of empty death, you do not stand a chance. Punch my way out.
Give me an athletics check.
Uh, 18.
18. The sarcophagi are certainly heavy, but tipped on their end. A little bit of leverage will easily topple them outward. Speaking of which, there is a Karen White kind of standing there. Okay, he nimbly dodges out of the way. And
Oh, crap, he's a rogue.
yeah. And out comes this strange girl who has been here the whole time. Not entirely clear. You've got 2 actions left.
And he had a ready to action.
And he did have a ready to action, which he will swing down at you with for a 26.
26 will hit.
26 will hit.
And you will take 6 less damage as I 5-foot step to your side, returning the favor, and swing my mallet down on this one.
Aha, retributive strike.
That will miss, unfortunately.
How much
Only
was
a
it?
2 on the die.
Oh, yeah, probably missed that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm no longer in flanking, and you take less damage.
That's great. What's the total on your for your negation for retributive strike?
6.
6. Okay, so only 4 slashing damage as an aura of Saren Ray's protection deflects the majority of it.
Thank you, friend of the dearly departed.
And you've got 2 actions left.
Energy will flare up through her and her eyes will glow purple and she won't get any bigger. So let me describe her to you. She's a blonde 16-year-old girl. Clearly preteen. Blonde hair, long, pulled up in a bun. Speaking of buns, she is holding a stuffed bunny rabbit in her pocket, and she has a huge geese arm that is bigger than her in her hand, and a large great club on her back. She's dressed in very strange-looking metal armor, and she looks ready to rumble. That's a rage action, so I'm going to take an action to rage.
Nice.
She also happens to be a barbarian.
Some of these spirits that are kind of swirling around the south end of the room will peel away and start to orbit you, sort of screaming wordless vengeance.
As it happens, she's a spirit barbarian.
Hey.
+1 damage to undead is a hell of a drug.
It's handy.
in this here dungeon. And then I'm going to take a swing down at this thing with my geese arm.
Roll to hit.
That would be a natural 20.
Okay. All right.
Because, you know,
We're
let's
starting
do
off
it.
strong. All right. Well, roll me that barbarian critical damage for that critical hit.
Okay.
Max damage.
Max damage is very nice. What do we got?
Should be 2d10 because it's
I'm
striking.
just looking for my d10s. There they are. I'm not used to rolling d10s, okay? I'm used to rolling d8s.
I would make fun of you if you grabbed the wrong one, so well done.
Okay, so that's 13, 17, doubled is 34.
34 damage. All righty.
So yeah, she comes in and asserts her presence with authority. This thing is much bigger than her, and she looks really determined.
This thing reels back with a blazing wound in it. And staggers a bit, but does not go down. These things seem quite resilient. And they're back up. This one that was is going to stride up, kind of trying to pin Corwin against the wall, but instead is going to raise its sword and swing down at Nil. Okay. For a 33.
That crits.
Whoa. Okay, so that's going to be 22 slashing damage on Nil, and I need a fortitude save.
Okay. That is a 6 plus 10 is 16.
16, you are drained 1 as this burning kind of takes you over. And then it's gonna swing at you again. Oh god. 27.
Okay, hit.
For 11 damage.
Okay.
And another fortitude save.
Natural 20.
Well, you don't give a crap about that.
You already had all your blood taken out of your body.
You already had all your blood.
Or-
That's where it's supposed to be, exactly.
Yep.
The shattered one is going to lash out a bit. You don't know if these things get panicky, but it certainly looks like it's panicky. It's swinging with its claw as it's trying to almost grab chunks of life to put back into itself. One swing at Drevin for a natural 1. One swing at Corwin for a 24.
Gonna hit.
And a swing at Drevin again for a 9.
Almost.
Corwin gonna take, oh, that's a good one. 15, I lied. 15 slashing damage. And I'll need a fortitude save.
Yeah. Already drained 1. How bad can it be? That's a 9 on the die, plus 6, 15. It's gonna fail.
Drain 2.
We are low conditions.
But you're up now.
And you're in flanking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm also very hurt. First action is going to be... do I do it? I'm at exactly 8 health. Yeah.
Oh no!
No, I do it.
Malpractice on
I do it.
himself.
I do it.
Does it happen? Does it happen?
No.
Oh, that's probably for the best.
Down to 4. But that gives me... I'm going for the expert because I need big heals at the moment. I have a plus 15 to this.
Stabs himself. You know what?
I
Let
need
it
a
not be
5.
said. Let it not be said that Corwin does not put himself on the line with his risky surgery.
I needed a 5. I got an 8. That's a crit success. So that's going to be
he
48.
just cuts that tetanus part of the
9.
wound out and throws it away.
10, 19 plus 19. I'm at full health. Even before Godless Healing, I'm at full health.
Okay.
Because my health max right now is 36.
Oh yeah, the drain.
Yeah, it sucks. Thanks.
Yeah. Don't thank me. Thank the Cairn Whites.
But your
They've
max
got
is
a gift that
44
keeps on
normally?
giving.
My max is 44, yes.
Don't worry.
Wow. Okay.
I'm not a con class.
Don't worry. The Cairn Whites do top out at how much drain they can give you. You may or may not be there yet. 1 action down, 2 to go.
How's Nil looking?
Nil? How is Nil looking?
I've got some. She's looking a little shaky, but she could be worse.
It's hard to tell with
Do
dwarves.
you want some medicine?
You say that as she's like holding up like what she looks like a very tasty snack.
Well, then we're gonna devise on this the one that's not standing up too well.
Yep, that would make sense.
9.
And you're flanking it.
Frightened 1.
Disregarded by the guidance. It's gonna be a 20 total.
20 total?
Yep.
Want to take the swing?
Yeah.
You just slip the guard.
Nice.
It's flat-footed. That's what I was just like, that might hit. But these guys do get, this is D6s. That is 13 damage total.
13 damage total.
That's
It
3 actions.
Shudders and collapses, and its eyes flare brightly one last time, and with a hiss of hatred, it launches a claw out at you
Oh, I'm glad I healed.
for a 19 to hit.
Does not hit.
You
Even
manage
with
to
frightened.
parry it one last time as it collapses and the light disappears from its eyes.
And the frightened disappears from my condition list.
Now you're just scarred, not scared.
Yeah.
I
Very
ain't
much.
scarred. Yes, yeah, well, actually, you are, yeah.
I'm extremely scarred right now.
There's a white, and it's got some people around it, but it does not seem deterred by its companion going down. It's going to swing down at our mysterious benefactor. Woof! For a 30.
That ain't a crit.
Ain't a crit, that's the important bit.
Well, you know what it gets in return?
Whap.
A whack. And you take 6 less damage from this hit.
6 slashing damage.
Don't believe that a 15 will make connection.
15 will not make connection, but that's okay, because you're getting those rolls out of the way for when it's your turn.
Mm-hmm.
You see this spiritual barrier that's around her kind of flare for a minute, and she is undamaged completely.
It's going to make a second swing, one at Drevin. This for a 24.
Just connect.
Just connects for 12. And then a final one at the new one for an 18.
Nope.
Flailing around back and forth. You do see it slowly start to stitch its flesh back together.
By the way, I'm sorry. The one I hit before took 6 more damage. I forgot my rage damage.
Oh, well, it's all right. Yeah, you can add it back, and it's still up. So, didn't greatly affect anything, but it's looking slightly worse for wear.
Do I need to make another fortitude save?
Because it hit you?
Yeah.
Yes, actually, the both of you do.
That one did no damage.
It hit my overshield. My
That
rage
counts.
overshield.
Hitting temp HP.
Yeah,
is
temp
typically
HP will
still a
trigger
hit.
it.
Okay, then
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
fine then.
It's not like you're just not taking it.
It's not an actual overshield.
Got it.
Yeah.
Would be funny.
13.
13. Drained 3 right now.
14.
14.
3 on
Drained
the die.
1.
Feeling drained over here.
Yeah, so drained 1 is going to be negative to all of
Yeah.
your con-based stuff, and you're going to lose
Your level.
4 hit points.
You take 4 damage, your max health reduces by 4.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, got it.
And Drevin, you're back up.
Well, I really don't like this thing.
It doesn't seem to like you either.
So I'm going to move into flanking.
Zoop. Into flanking you move.
And then I'm going to hit it directly in the back. And we're going to see how well that works. It doesn't, as that was a 4 for a 14 total to its flanking.
Even with its flanking, it's still not down.
Your dice are not happy with you today.
Mhm. And then hit it again, because why not?
There you go. It's flanked.
I like your philosophy.
I got 2 better.
So for a total of a 17?
No, on the die.
Oh. Yeah, it's not going to work.
You've rolled 120, and I don't think you've rolled another one above a 10.
20 and then 5 and lower for everything, including fortitude saves.
You just
Switch
got a
dice.
6.
Sorry, 6 and lower.
Nil, you're up.
So Corwin looks over. He's got his medical kit. He looks over at me, and I'm over there, and I've just got this long, still looks like it could be moving tongue.
Yep,
And I'm like,
just turns away immediately. Nope. We're done with that.
And so I shuffle. I'm gonna shuffle over onto the other side of Corwin, just so I'm hiding behind the corner a little bit. I'm not going in closer to the guy. I'm going further away from the guy. And I am going to take one of my own, but they are not awful berries to me. In
They're
fact,
not
they
awful
are
berries
good
to you,
berries
actually.
me.
They are indeed good berries
They
to
are
you.
actually delicious. You guys just have no taste.
Tongue is a delicacy in places.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So that's a good amount of health over here.
Oh gosh, what is she eating?
Doesn't matter. She ate it around the corner.
Yes, and it was delicious. And I get a little bit of health, and I moved, and I think that's my turn.
You got one more. Oh, you have to pull the berry out.
I miss it myself. I get a piece of candy. I do this so rarely. I forget.
All right, newcomer.
Blessed Esobach, allow me to help. And she'll swing the geese arm around and smash it down onto this thing.
All righty. I love violence. Unmitigated violence. Spectacular.
It
These-
sounds so sweet, though.
I
These
know,
things are an abomination against Pharasma. But that's only going to be a 4 on the die, but it's okay because we have hero points and we're going to use this one because
Hey.
it's just when you're dying and we don't do that.
That's the spirit.
That's the
That's the
spirit.
spirit.
She figured it out. She
Yep.
figured it out.
There we go.
Ooh,
That's a
yeah.
16 on the die. That's what we like to see.
Oh, there you go.
For a total of a 27 flanked.
27 flanked.
Yeah.
All right, you hit normally.
Okay. But because that is very nice damage. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24.
24 damage. You smash into this thing, leaving it broken and tottering, but still very dangerous. Got 2 actions left, though.
I do. I will go in and I will smash it down again.
There you go.
12 on the die, minus 5 is 6. It's going to be 17.
17.
To its flanking.
To its flanking does not hit.
That is okay.
You just missed the crit and you just missed the follow-up hit.
Look. And then she will go in for a 20 because
Might as
that's
well.
what you do.
You never know. Fish for 20s.
Fish for 20s.
There's time and place for it.
It's an 18.
Hey, maybe. I don't know.
So it's a 19?
You hit it!
Oh!
Barbarian doing barbarian things.
Yes, absolutely.
That's the spirit.
If there's anything I've learned playing a barbarian in one of my games, it's always great to hit on your 3rd attack.
You know what?
It feels good.
It feels so good, doesn't it?
That is absolutely posh. So we're going to reroll that. Okay. That is very low damage. That's going to be 3, 7, 10 damage.
10 damage, just low for a barbarian. You smash into it, and it collapses to the ground, and then it claws itself, pushing itself. Its legs don't seem to work, but it's pushing itself back up onto its torso.
You are not
Still
natural.
With a little bit left, and indeed, it is quite unnatural.
Stay down.
It doesn't seem to listen to you. The white that is facing Nil and Corwin, which seems to be actually pristine, if an entombed, mummified corpse can be described as such, is going to swing its sword down on Corwin for a 26.
Gonna normal hit.
Normal hits are the ones we want.
And you'll take 6 less damage from this, as I cannot get to you, but I can retributive strike and give someone resistance within 15 feet.
He is within 15 feet. So that's going to be 6 less, you said?
Yep.
8 points of slashing damage as an aura of protection of Saren Ray. Did you make the DC for your tetanus shot?
What do you think?
Well, it's
I'm drained
unlikely.
2. What do you think?
It's just hard.
No, I didn't.
keeps
I'm
on
drained
giving.
3 now. Thank you.
Okay. And this thing is going to reach out with a claw, trying to grab Corwin, but is only going to roll natural 1. However, Oroku-san gave me a villain point. So I'm going to roll that again. You got a 6 on the die this time. But I know your fort's probably kind of weak right now, so let's give it a shot here. Does an 18 beat your fort DC? Oh, the expression he's giving me.
That would have beat it without the drained.
Yes.
Oh, really?
I'm not a con-based class,
Oh, man,
sir.
he can bully you.
Yeah.
So Corwin is going to be seized by this thing, and he's going to try to crush you in his hands. And so give me that fortitude save against the crush damage.
What'd you say on that? Oh. Okay. Take a guess. I failed. It's 16 total.
16 total.
12 on the die.
You're gonna take another 7 points of bludgeoning damage, and you are grabbed.
Yep.
Corwin is
Not doing
looking
great.
a little worse for wear. But on the bright side, it's your turn. Maybe you can do something about it.
Yeah, such as try to escape, but pretty much everything. What would be best for me to try right now? Probably just unarmed attack.
Do this Three Stooges move.
I mean, it's an attack trait. I can devise to escape.
Yeah,
That's the attack trait.
that's true.
That's true, actually.
15. I think a 15's gonna manage to let me escape,
That sounds reasonable.
because that's gonna be a 25 total.
25 total, with a clever set of attacks targeting the joints, which it still does have.
It's just,
You weaken the grip enough to slip out of it.
it's less clever in this moment, and just he's sick of this thing being on him. Brings up the glove that has these little spikes on the end of it and full punches it straight in the jaw.
Staggering it,
Digs in and twists.
perhaps digging into it a little bit. You manage to free yourself. It lets you go, a bit surprising.
Shifts himself back. Oh, this ain't going well. And I'm just going to try and... I don't want to leave it trying to get to nil. chance to do that.
Incidentally, I do love how everybody is trying to defend Nil when Nil has more hit points than the people
I do
trying
have a
to
lot of
defend
hit
her.
points. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
but
great.
you have the AC of I get crit a lot.
True. Very true. Very true.
I'll take a swing at it, but I don't think it's going to go well for me. 12 minus 5, 7, only an 18.
An 18.
Yep.
To swing at it, it is gonna be able to, with no distractions behind it, it is able to parry your attack.
And that's 3 actions.
Alrighty. And this thing on the ground is going to claw its way towards our little Pharasman knight and strike out at you with these raking claw attacks.
No touch.
Just wildly flailing. Okay. We got a 22.
A 22 is not. No, a 22 will just do it.
Just
That's
do
my
it?
AC.
Raging. Claw attack for. Ooh, okay, pretty good. That's gonna be 13 slashing damage as these claws rake into you, swelling it slightly better, but not really much. It's pretty beat down. Second attack is gonna be a 14.
Does not even.
Third attack is another 14. And I need a fortitude save for our Pharasman.
That's going to be a 16.
16, you're drained 2 now.
Joining the Drained 2 squad.
And Drevin, you are up.
Well, it's conveniently right there at like Gallagher comedy skit smashing height.
Indeed it is.
So I'm going to take the head and turn it into a watermelon and see what we can do with that.
And everyone is in the splash zone.
24. That's-
Palpable
yeah.
hit.
We're just hitting all the, black and white era comedies, Gallagher, Three Stooges. Someone's going to pull, the
Gallagher's
full...
not black and white.
It wasn't.
No, Gallagher was like the 70s.
It was? Oh.
Yeah.
And that'll be 18 damage.
18 damage, and you smash this thing into you. And as you crush into it, its broken body is going to twist up at you, and with a spit of hatred, it's going to swing its claws up in your direction. For a natural 20. And that's going to be 22 damage. This thing's claws hand, devoid from the weight of its lower half, this torso reaches up and digs into Drevin's throat for 22 slashing damage.
And that is enough to take me down.
Will 6 less save you?
By 1. I have 17.
Once again, you'll feel this light reach out from the darkness and wrap around you and leave you clinging to life by your fingertips.
I have 1 health.
And
Willing death is
Man.
the greatest thing ever.
that's pretty awesome. And this thing, after it claws into you, will just hang lifeless, slide away, blood flinging out from its clawed hand, and it will collapse onto the ground motionless. The
Do I
light.
still get the wounded condition?
Nope.
Nope.
That's pretty good. It's a small window, but it's paid off twice already.
It is. I'm super
I'm
surprised.
taking the damage for you. It's okay. I got it to spare.
Lay on hands. And then regrip my weapon as my third action.
Alrighty. Regrip weapon? Oh, lay on hands, right. Nil.
The disadvantage of a two-hander.
Yep.
So, Corwin. So behind you, you hear like a muffled something is trying to speak at me. And that's me trying to speak. And I like roll out a piece of paper like it's like a poultice paper of some sort, and you hear like a retching. And then you feel a nice, warm, kind of chunky poultice being put on one of your injuries. And then you feel actually a little better if you don't think too hard about it.
I will note, I'm drained 3. I'm going to fail the sicken check.
I don't think
this
she also
isn't
better
actually.
do.
This isn't actually a sick. This
Okay.
is just a battle.
This
medicine.
is battle medicine. Okay, that's
Okay,
way better.
So to make an informed decision, it's a DC 20.
DC
For expert.
15.
15 if you're
15.
trained, 20 if you're expert.
Okay, well I would just try life around here. So that is an 18.
Perfect. You will pass your
Um,
trained DC.
Perfect.
2d8.
And then 2d8 plus 10. So that is 17.
That I'm at full. I only needed 15.
Sweet.
Full is a
Sweet.
relative term.
Don't talk to me right now.
What, you're just looking a little worse for wear.
You
And
did
then-
this. You're responsible for this.
Me?
Yes.
Me?
I
Yes.
wasn't even here.
I wasn't even here. God dang it. Stole it from me.
And then,
Got two
And then-
actions.
is it battle medicine?
Battle medicine is
only
only a
one.
single action. It's
Wow.
super quick.
Okay, well that's a very fast retching. So
Yeah,
just
that was
so
some
that
like
was
speedy
really
reverse peristalsis right there.
very fast. And then I'll try and I'm going to try and cast that disrupt undead again on this guy over here.
Well, he's pretty chonky, but maybe something about him stepping away from the sarcophagus where he has been resting may have exposed a bit of a weakness in him, for he only is going to get an 18.
Okay, so that is a failure. So, oh my gosh, I'm really terrible at these. So, 4, that's only 7 damage.
Oh, okay. Well, you know what? It's helpful. Every little
helpful,
bit is
yes,
helpful.
yes,
We've already seen
yes.
what like 6 will do.
You
so-
know what that is?
Yeah.
It's on the board.
It's on the board.
It's on
that
the
is
board.
true.
That's like first damage that white's
Yeah.
taken. So well done.
It's about to take a
We
whole
try hard.
lot.
And we are back up to our Pharasman friend.
I'm very sorry for your loss. I will now smash this thing in front of you. She'll move to flank this thing.
Yep.
It's time for you to go back home for good. And she'll swing down at it, swinging her geese arm around, trying very hard not to hit Corwin in this tight corridor.
Just kind of ducks.
There's a
quick
really
out of the
tall
way.
ceiling in here, so you got lots of vertical room to
Well,
maneuver
she's
it.
very short, so there's the geese arm just kind of
Yeah, right.
evens out everything.
Makes sense. That makes sense.
She's all of like 5'1". Speaking of ones, that is a 1 on the die. Yeah, I don't like this thing anyway.
Zero
Lots of
points.
Lots of
Putting them
points
to
today.
good use.
Well, that Bane card's looking awful tasty right now.
Yeah, that's
You
why
sure
I
you don't want to
freaking
have a
hero
little bite?
pointed
No,
it.
you gotta do it. You gotta let them
If
have
you get it out of the way, then you just don't have it anymore.
Look, yeah.
That's
Uh,
true.
Put it in
Link's
a
distracted
non-lethal
with
Or,
Monster
combat.
Hunter right now.
or I could roll a 20 with flanking.
20 with flanking. Solid hit.
That's more like it. That's what we like to see.
Okay, so that's gonna be 14 damage.
14
Positive damage?
Positive damage. Are you positive?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
Positive?
I'm positive.
Alrighty. This thing will reel from it, a burning gash as light and spirit leaks from its injury, and you have 1 action left.
Hit it again.
Hit it again.
She'll come around and try to take its head off. With only a 2 on the die, though, I don't think that's going to do it, but a 2 is not a 1, and that's what we're looking
We could
for.
have used the Bane, though, and then gotten rid of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Link could have given you another one.
He's distracted.
We just
right
would have to tell him on break that you used it.
Someone would have to narc you to Link, is all would have to happen.
Who would possibly
Who would
do
do
that?
such a thing?
Everybody.
This thing is going to kind of put its hands up to its head, drop the sword, and let out a shrieking wail that's going to ripple out. Will saves for everyone.
Does
Oh.
a 12 critically fail?
A 12 does not critically fail.
Frightened 2 I am.
27.
27.
Oh, nice.
You pass. Well done.
28.
Will's the one I'm good at.
28.
19 on the die.
Beautiful. All right, you also pass.
14.
14. So you are going to be frightened 1, and Corwin and our mysterious Pharasman are fine. Apparently, multiple exposures don't really start to get used to this.
When you
We get
screaming.
peekabooed one too many times.
There you go.
As it turns out, when you don't have eardrums left from the first time.
And screaming as it is, it's going to round on our mysterious Pharasman knight and reach its hands out to try to claw at your face.
Please don't touch me.
It's going to listen. It's going to get a 17.
It's like, oh, sorry, miss.
I'm terribly sorry. Really, I'm not like that. And Corwin is up.
Well,
Will this aid be enough to keep him from falling over?
Nil's aid was a lot to help me from falling over, unless this thing hits me for 33 like it did her earlier. So we're going to try and take this thing down as fast as possible. It's distracted. Look for an opening with devise. I don't think a 3 is going to hit it, though.
You have a hard time finding it. It's flailing around a lot right now.
Yeah, I'm not thinking that I'm going to try that swing. So instead, I'm going to move over to our new friend. Look, I don't know who you are. Thanks for helping us, but this might sting a little bit. And I'm going to do a medicine check.
First,
2 damage.
Ow.
But
don't touch me, please, Corin. I'll handle it.
Is this normal in your world?
you're in here. I'm assuming you're from here at some point. Just and that medicine check. I'm going for expert. We're gonna top you off here. That's 10 on the die, plus 15 is 25, DC's 20.
Success.
So this is going to be plus 19. That is 10, so 29. Another 8, so 37 health.
That will top me off.
Yeah, so your max is going to be 8 less.
Yep,
than it
I'm at
normally
60.
is. Yep. So devise a move of battle medicine.
Yep.
Drevin, there's a flanking position that's opened up for you.
Just run on over there.
That was the goal.
And now, hammer time.
Stop.
No. Please hit it.
That is a 13, so 24.
Perfectly
I
solid.
want this gone.
You want that gone?
I want the white gone. Strike true. Play when an ally is about to make a strike. The target rolls twice and takes the higher. This strike deals an extra die of damage on hit if the attacker has fewer than half their maximum hit points, or 2 extra dice if fewer than 1/4. You are currently below 1/4 because of the drain condition.
Oh, if the target...
If he has less than 1/4 health.
And I rolled a crit.
What'd
That's
you
an
roll?
18 plus 11
Yeah!
plus 10, so
You crit it with the
28.
flanking.
So he gets
3d12?
4d12 because he's below
If the
25%.
strike does 2 extra damage, it gets multiplied on crits.
Well, this should be pretty good.
This thing is dust.
Oh, it's got a lot of hit points. Let's see
Thank
what
you,
happens.
Asane.
That's
I'm
early.
done with
So I
this
get
fight
3,
now.
so I get 3 or 4 d12.
You get your base d12 plus
Uh-huh.
2 extra.
So I get 3.
All of them get multiplied by the
Yes.
crit.
3 d12 plus a d6
Damage.
Damage.
multiplied by 2. So 19, 23 for 46 damage.
46 damage. What happens to it?
Again, the light of Sarenrae comes down as this thing just meets blunt force trauma.
And it smashes into the ground, and its claws are going to flail up at no one in particular, as it is trapped beneath this massive wound that's been smashing it into the floor, and the room goes silent.
As a book falls to the floor.
You know, I was gonna gloss over it. It probably didn't even make
The
it onto the
room's so
microphones,
quiet.
but you had to go
Definitely did.
talk.
Well, no, the room's so quiet you could hear a book drop.
You could hear a book drop, exactly.
Very impressive, Herald of Light.
Well, who is this mysterious friend who's come out of a sarcophagus to aid the party in their dire hour?
Who are
This
we
and
all?
more we shall find out after a short 10-minute break. Please stand up, stretch your legs, and join us again in just 10 minutes for Abomination Vaults on the UGT Network. Welcome back, everyone, to Abomination Vaults on the Undeniably Good Time Network. Feel free to check out our other shows, Secrets Between the Stars on Wednesdays, and this coming Saturday, Strange Aeons, Chapter 3, back after a short break. Coming back to see how strange the Aeons can truly get.
We're going on a boat.
On a boat! Oh my god, never would have thought.
Don't you ever forget.
Tell AJ that you're ordering them to beat to quarters and see what he does.
Okay.
Awesome.
I'll see if I remember that.
I know nautical stuff, and he doesn't. It's funny when I bring it up.
I don't think the
Ew.
boat's big enough for any nautical terms.
Boats are actually both bigger than you think they are and smaller than you think they are. They're bigger when you're trying to move them, and they're smaller when you're trying to be in them.
Nick, don't be aft.
They
Don't
exist
be
in
aft.
they
Come
exist
on.
in their own special properties of the third dimension.
They do, actually. It's pretty fascinating.
He gets really stern when he talks about it.
If you try to turn them in certain
I need a
canals, they
glass
get
of
stuck.
port is what I need.
Got him.
You guys are horrible. Why am I here?
To wear a cool hat.
Thank you.
Well, that's true. I do have a nice hat.
You do have a nice hat. You do have a nice hat. Well, our heroes have come out of the encounter with the brutal Karen Whites, unscathed, untouched. Actually, no, y'all kind of beat up pretty badly.
Perfectly fine.
Not me. I'm perfect now. Thank you.
But while you sit about to tend your wounds, recover your spiritual energy, why don't we go around the table and introduce ourselves? Because we have somebody brand new.
And we have someone to introduce ourselves to.
Yeah.
Oh, hello. My name is Iris. My friends, well, my friend really. This is my friend. She calls me Riss. I suppose if Pharasma actually talked to me, she would call me Riss. But I am a Dusk Walker and a Spirit Barbarian of Serenray, and I enjoy long walks on the beach in the boneyard. Does the boneyard have beaches? I don't know.
Well, it's got a big old river in it, so
Yeah, river
at least
banks.
Riverside.
Yep.
Oh, and I am just at my encumbered weight. I am literally carrying so many weapons on me that if I was carrying one more penny, I would be
Here, hold this.
encumbered.
A little bit every now and
Yeah,
then.
don't hand me anything.
Whoa,
Well, we got these books we need to go find.
And what do we look like over here?
Over
for Nil?
here, we have Nil Grumman, our resident creepy monster-obsessed dwarven druid. Actually, if you were really paying attention, actually just a reduce, reuse, recycle, very helpful, friendly druid that's really just looking to see the usefulness and the bright side of all creatures.
Nil just likes to live off the grid. That's all there is to it.
That's what I'm saying. Very surprised about our new addition into this adventure we have. For sure, see how this goes.
Oh, she's also a Dusk Walker, so she looks a little odd. There's something amok with her.
Amok. Okay.
And then over here, howdy, I'm Derp. I play Drevin Sorrel, the nearly 7-foot tall Great Knoll in some great plate, worshipping the great and mighty Saren Ray, keeper of the Saren Way, the pious poppy demolition doggo, man with a hammer. Not a man, but hi.
And the crowd.
And the crowd goes wild.
And finally, lastly, but not leastly,
You mentioned my loss. I don't know how you know about that, considering where we found you.
Oh,
Corwin Elvashti.
So, I have this ability, you see, where I can feel the dearly departed. I saw his death play out the way it did, and I really am very, very sorry. He was a lovely soul, and I want you to know that it didn't pass through the boneyard. It went back, straight back to his lady.
Honestly, that's more concerning, considering that's somehow bypassing the lady's judgment, but I got my own resources working on that.
Oh, it's a great gift. It means that his soul did not require judgment. It was thought to be that pure.
Either way.
It was really beautiful. Actually, I've only ever seen it once before. I'm sorry.
Resident field medic, trying to figure out what's going on in here.
Oh,
Just kind of set a hand down to his hip where he's got nausea, just like, do you make anything of this?
yeah, I think it would work a bit better next time Whites jump you if you pull me out and have me start swinging at him.
I can barely hold you up straight.
Well, then you just need to train more.
You're going back to being quiet now.
Ha! That's what you think.
That's what
I'm
Just
going.
in a sheath.
Yeah.
touch telepathy is so nice.
I'm done speaking with you now.
Take hand off sword.
oh, that sword is very odd. It's got a very strange aura around it.
Yeah, it talks. It's either sentient or it's got a spirit in it. I don't know which.
Really?
Cousin never really
It
explained which.
Talks? It talks?
Kinda. It mostly just talks about wanting to stab people and getting used to stab people. It needs some attitude adjustment. We're gonna work on that here in a bit.
Hi.
Hello.
Wow, I was not expecting your voice to be like that.
Hello.
Oh,
What were you expecting my voice to be like exactly?
I really don't know. You seem so friendly. And your voice is a little deeper than I thought it would be. And you have a very strange centipede on your head. It looks a little red. Why is it glowing?
Devils.
Oh.
Yeah, we've made some weird friends. Friends is a strong term.
Is not strange looking. First of all, let me 1 second. I will turn over. You are beautiful. You are majestic. You are important. Please mind your manners when it comes to speaking about him.
Don't talk to me or my son ever
He
again.
is in a difficult stage right now. He's only got 3 horns.
She'll bow very deeply and apologize in a language that you don't understand.
His father died recently.
Mother.
No, the Ultimok died.
Oh,
His
yes.
father died recently.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, that's true. Adoptive father. I was thinking of the actual centipede.
So about this. What is this?
Everything.
What is this?
Yeah, I kind of had the same concern.
Those are my clothes.
Yes.
More direct into you, I think.
No, what is this? What
That?
Oh!
what is happening here?
This is,
Is it
well,
alive?
well,
What is
not,
it made of?
It's, my mother gave it to me when I was a little girl on the island where I grew up, and when I went to work with Pharasma, my island was destroyed, and so everyone I've ever known is dead. She preserved my bunny so that I could always have her. She smells like my mom.
An embodiment that ends up smelling like a close relative. This seems
Hold on.
essential.
Hold on.
Gesundheit.
Bless you.
okay. Thank you.
How? You're 15 or 16. What do you mean?
Oh, well, I suppose technically I don't suppose I've aged in a very, very long time.
Yeah, you were in a tomb.
Well,
You were a corpse.
Well, not really. I was sent into the corpse by Pharasma. I'm on a mission to fight the Eyes of Empty Death.
So Belcora had the corpse of a 15 or 16-year-old
I don't know who that is.
that she considered an enemy that she wanted to gloat over.
I don't know who Belcora is. I don't even know who that is. I just think Pharasma used it as a vessel. She can do that, you know. She's very powerful.
Would you like me to make a religion or a society check about this particular
You could do either
circumstance?
or. You get different information depending on which one you use.
Can I do both?
Sure. I mean, it's a conversation.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
I'll
go
do-
religion.
I'll do both.
All right.
Society
That's
is
that one.
is-
I don't know about Pharasma's.
Society is my
That's appropriate.
Malachite. 25 on the society and a 13 on religion.
Okay. So 13 on religion. You know of Pharasma.
Well, I know Phrasma. I don't know what this is.
You know, and certainly Pharasman. So what you know about Pharasmans is they tend to wear dour colors. So certainly the propensity of black seems to fit. You've heard that some of them like to wear masks, so this also seems to fit. That's about all you got. Society-wise, so you do know that there are a group of people. They're fairly rare, but they carry the blood of Pharasma's servants. You know that much. And as such, tend to be pretty closely involved with her. There are some telltale signs, and it does appear that Iris has some of them. So if you were to think about it, you might peg her as something called a Dusk Walker, although what the particulars of that mean, you're not entirely sure.
Best I can tell, Phrasma put you here. Possibly heritage, possibly a reason. Not sure why, but you're exactly right about being
pointing towards like the sarcophagus and where the body was.
A vessel.
I'm here to fight the great enemy. The enemy who destroyed Aslantia.
I think we're on 2 different missions. I wish you the best of luck on finding whoever destroyed Aslantia. I think that is over our heads. Okay, let's keep going.
No, we're fighting the same enemy. Pharasma told me so. You just don't know them by that name.
I don't think we know anybody that destroyed an entire nation. Do we?
I mean, Belcora's trying to. She's trying to blow up Absalom.
Yeah, I
Oh.
mean, yeah, but I have dreams as well, but I don't feel like I could be listed.
We're going
with
to pause
others.
right there.
Nils
We're
like,
not-
who doesn't dream
We're-
of blowing up Absalom?
That's...
Belcor is the least of your worries. You're fighting the cult. The cult of the Forgotten.
I mean...
Oh my goodness, where is Calbum? Next time we see Calbum, he's gonna be thrilled.
Honestly, I think he probably got stuck on the other side of the mist or something.
Well, that's what I figured, but he would
Yeah.
love to hear about this. A cult. He knew it the whole time.
Oh, yeah, there's
Proxima,
a...
Proxima in chat. Need to scratch because we have a lich.
I
I don't know why that hit me so hard.
Dustwalkers
Really got me
legally
good.
aren't undead because Pharasma doesn't like those, so she made a loophole.
Good loopholes.
It says it right there on
Yeah.
this on this
It's
sheet.
part psychopomp, not part undead.
Exactly.
You're not a risen corpse. Don't worry about the fact you came out of a tomb.
No.
Shut up.
Just kind of swapped her. That was what that was.
It's
I
converted.
lead the Pantheon. Shh.
Are you gonna tell Pharasma no?
Exactly.
As the most powerful god in the Pantheon, Pharasma does as Pharasma pleases.
Are you an Esobach?
He's a no.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were maybe one of Pharasma's heralds. You do look an awful lot like one, and you seem to hate the undead with the same passion that we do.
You can read scripture, right?
Of course.
Serenite.
Hold up the pocket Bible.
Oh, because that doesn't
Close.
say anything. But that does. How lovely. I have a book too.
Yeah, you have a book too. It means about as much to Drevin as Drevin's book means to you.
Yeah,
Mine-
most of us got books. We got a lot of them earlier.
Mine is called the Bones Land in a Spiral.
Well, I have a book also that is about cooking, I think.
Really?
But it has him as a herald as well, so you may be onto something.
Do you like to cook? I love to cook.
I do like to cook, and I will very pompously pull out a very cute little cricket covered in some, like, sparkly...
How delicious!
And fortitude save.
I was
This
about
is-
to warn
This
you.
will determine our friendship forever, so I hope you know this.
I was gonna warn you, but you know.
I haven't failed to save on those yet.
That's a 23.
You're okay.
I will
Satisfying
actually-
a little bitter, but otherwise.
This is lovely. It has a certain piquancy to it.
Honestly, the crickets ain't bad.
I
The
will
wet ones are the
actually
bad
start
ones.
Crying. There is. I have been perfecting this recipe for so long. I am glad that you are here to appreciate it. You must come into the party with us. You actually are. Our
This is the
journeys
test.
are the same. We are actually on the same path.
Oh,
I feel it in my bones.
that's good. Because I've come a long way, and I haven't been outside the boneyard in a very long time. I don't even know. What year is it?
What year is it?
You're asking me?
4722, 4723, somewhere in there.
Oh, so the
You
town.
don't recognize the calendar.
I have no idea what that means.
Here is a bone if it would make you feel more at home here.
Oh, thank you.
That's just a bone.
Oh, I thought I was supposed to eat it, but it's lovely. She'll put it. She'll tuck it into her shirt.
For what it's worth.
Pointing back down the hall where the shrine and all the paintings on the wall and everything is.
Is that the cult that you're here to deal with?
Yes, the Eyes of Empty Death. That is
Well-
what they've been called for millennia. We have fought them for millennia. They are Pharasma's greatest and oldest enemy.
I think that's more Black Rovagug, but that's kind of everyone's enemy.
Oh, well, yes, but this one is arguably perhaps even older.
Well, currently, we're dealing with that cult, and I've been instructed to find and destroy anything related to it.
Then you and I are most certainly on the same mission.
Works for me, then. My job is to make sure that people get out, dead or alive, so that there's no more undead in here.
Indeed. I really am sorry for the loss of your family. I know what it's like to lose family. The pain is unimaginable, and I'm so sorry you had to suffer it so recently and to continue on. You're very brave.
Yeah, don't got much choice. There's not really a way out right now, and
Oh, there's always a way out.
not the dying sort.
Okay, well, it was an option anyway.
I'm pretty sure if we die, we come back and we're stuck here. So no, it really ain't.
Oh, are we at the end of the hall, by the way? I didn't see how
We're
far
still
down
in
it
the-
went.
You didn't make it that far down the
That's
hall,
what I figured.
actually. But looking down there, you can see the sarcophagi actually continue for like a dozen of them on each side, and then there seems to be this swirling mist with faces kind of at the faces that swirled up to swirl around Iris during the fight have kind of peeled off and flown back to the wall.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't think we should be going down there.
This place makes my head hurt. I thought it was bad in the sarcophagus, but now that I'm out, it's like a pressure that doesn't relent. They're just everywhere.
Yeah, we kind of gotta burn some stuff and whatnot to keep them at bay.
You'll see her focus for a minute, and she'll kind of try to banish whatever it was that was pressing in on her.
Focusing down on it, it's not so much that you're able to banish it, but you're able to almost forcibly ignore it, is kind of what it turns into. Although all of you can feel the dark miasma of this place kind of pushing back in on you. And as you rest to treat your injuries, eventually that drain is going to wear off. You are going to have to spend some of your precious supplies to banish that miasma once again and keep the darkness from closing around you.
We actually just come down with 37 pounds of sage. Burn a
You
little
can
bit
just
of it.
use sage forever if you want to, but I figure, you bring in different stuff all the time. Gotta
mix
variety
up the
with it.
flavors, like
Yeah,
different
exactly.
shampoos. You want to smell like lavender one day.
I've used the same shampoo for
Me too.
decades.
I like how this one particular thing smells, and I just keep using it.
There you go. She made me change it, honestly. Otherwise, I'd still be using Pert. She said I smelled like a dog, so I had to change it.
Men's shampoo, 14-in-1 body wash,
That
car
is
wash,
exactly
lawn
what
care
it
products.
Toothpaste.
One thing you will note about her is that where the hourglass hangs down, there looks to be scarring, almost like burn marks that are in the impression where it's left, like it has physically burned her before. But they look healed. But you would definitely note it.
Yeah, medical, like burns are burns. They're very easy to identify.
They're very distinctive at the very least.
Yeah.
Turns out nothing leaves a mark like a burn.
No, not many things actually.
I still got
Although
the one-
acid is close too.
Yeah,
It's
it is.
close.
That's why they call them burns. Actually, you even
Wax
code-
does a pretty good job
You
also.
even code them the same way with medical coding, but that's entirely aside.
Wow, that is
Actually, I would love to hear more about that.
that is the straight up
That's
nerdiest
Posho.
thing you've ever said in your entire life.
Oh, I got
I
more.
doubt it.
I got more.
Well, I ain't too keen on going towards, another wall of mist. There's
still
the door
got that
back in the
door.
shrine.
I
Whatever's
suppose
through there.
I'll take you at your word. You've certainly been here longer than I have, but I shall make sure to have your back.
Well, it's appreciated.
Moving back up towards the shrine, there is a door on your left which has remained unexplored. Which that's
Main
not
door's closed by itself by now.
correct.
Okay.
Might as well go this way.
Yeah, we came in through over there, but everything in here seems to close itself behind us. So
It just looks like a door from the backside, right?
Just looks like a door.
Because on the other side, I know it kind of
it was a wall.
Put it into
blends
wall,
into
yeah.
the
Correct.
stairwell.
But no, it is clearly a door.
Well, there's that one over there, so
So you
we
open
don't
this.
go walking in mist.
You open this door, and the first thing that kind of draws your attention is that there are 3 cages hanging from the ceiling. Sort of like bird cages, but they're certainly big enough to put a whole person inside. The cages themselves are made of wrought iron and seem to have spikes actually lining various bits of the inside of them. It would be a very miserable experience to be locked inside one of these things.
Oh, how romantic.
One of the cages actually is a little different from the others. It has silver runes carved in along and worked into the bars and floors of the cage. Not entirely sure what that is without some further investigation. Further investigation of the room seems to fill in the rest of this niche pretty well. There are torture tables, there are manacles on the walls with
You want
old
to psychometrically read the torture table?
old blood stains. There are also there is a full-on rack and certainly rows upon rows of various torture implements neatly arranged along one side of the wall. Of note, there is a very old skeletal corpse that seems to be sprawled out on the floor. Rather unusual. It looks like typically torture victims tend to be taken away, so the corpse is unusual. And across the room, kind of seated in a chair, not really seated, more like slumped, kind of like this, is a blue-skinned woman with a shaven head who appears to be wearing nothing but chains wrapped around her form. And this is just slumped in the chair, kind of like this, completely motionless.
Society on the body to figure out what they are. They're humanoid shaped, right?
Which bot? Oh,
The blue thing.
The one in
blue
the chair?
woman, yeah.
Yeah, you can stare at it from across
kinda-
across the way.
Do I remember
is
any
that?
blue things?
Blue things? Can you remember blue things? We'll give it a shot for you.
Sky, some water.
Society's +10.
I got you. And Drevin.
7.
Mine's also a 7.
Okay. So you all are kind of peering at this, and it occurs to you that this
Is that the blue man
humanoid.
crew? Like, what's going on here?
You start kind of like peering across the room at this apparently a perfectly preserved corpse that's just slumped in the chair. And it occurs to you after you kind of piece through your hands, because you're drawing a total blank, that this appears to be not a creature of this world. This appears to be some sort of bound fiend, which after some rumination, and Iris doesn't get this at all. She's like still trying to piece blue person. Some Duskwalkers are really blue, but she doesn't seem to look like a Duskwalker. You're eventually able to piece together that this seems to be as close to a description of a Velstrak as you're ever able to put together. Velstraks are fiends, demons that are focused on the causation of pain. And in fact have found a foothold on Golarion through their patronage of the terrible country of Nadal.
Zon Kuthon.
All
here
hail
to
Zon
save the day.
Kuthon.
Boy, I love Pinhead.
But apparently this appears to be a Velstrak that's just slumped in this chair, entirely motionless, no reaction to your presence.
This is either going to be an interesting conversation or a hell of a fight.
I would love to speak. Is it alive?
Don't
Don't
get
know
too
from
close.
here.
Don't get close, but how are we gonna speak with
Too
them?
close.
Oh, don't get too close.
Keep your distance.
I'll stupidly open my psychic senses up and
we have another psychic sense.
yep.
Psychometric resonance, first off, is one of the coolest skill feats in the game, in my opinion, and it makes it really easy for storytelling beats to be given in a haunted dungeon. So I basically twisted Jen's arm and made her take it again, because it's
I
just
see.
way too freaking useful.
I see.
Except hers works a little differently.
So your works are going to focus not so much on the sort of like the experiences that happened, but you actually get to see their echoes on from the other side of things. So you get to see sort of like the echoes on the underworld, the paths taken here from the boneyard. And there are a few things that pop up. One is that there are some there's some fairly recent and these are all very relative terms, by the way, recent and long ago, because there's a huge time frame we're talking here, sense of some torture that took place in this room. And they're sort of shown as brief impressions, almost like fingers and faces briefly pressing up against a gauze curtain before fading back away into the gloom. And you can feel this sort of thing. Similar impressions still linger here from a long, long time ago. However, the strongest impression, ironically, doesn't come from any of the torture implements at all. It actually comes from the corpse that's laying on the floor. This corpse appears to be quite old, and the impression on it is quite old, but while the torture showed these impressions briefly pressing into the cloth, this is a hole that's been ripped into it. And this person was violently murdered here. And indeed, you can sense the panic tinged with confusion and betrayal of this corpse. Whoever this corpse was apparently died here through different mechanisms. It feels very different to the handiwork of the torturers that ran this place.
Almost like it might have been done by a Velstrax. Who knows?
Who knows? But there's one Velstrack here. He could have done both murders, but they're very different style to the both of them.
If we can put this soul to rest, it would be a blessing.
Let's deal with it.
It's pointless, you know.
Huh?
No,
The
you're
Velstrack
alive.
kind of like turns its head in its chair, and its yellow eyes kind of appear as her eyelids flutter open. There's no putting anything to rest in this place.
You sound so disappointed.
I've just been here a very long time, and there has not been much to do. I don't have any fancy devil contract with any time limits, so I've just been here.
And you didn't just leave?
I just can't be bothered to put up with you. Can you just go?
No. Are chain earrings in fashion now?
They are now. I mean, those look so cool.
I can't really say that I ever took note of them before, but they are striking.
Very striking.
We're just trying to get out of here.
Mm-hmm. So's everyone,
But
really.
this poor woman is trapped here forever. How could we get you out? This is a tragedy.
She just said she ain't trapped. She just hasn't left. It's
No.
voluntary.
You're such an idiot.
The door's
Well,
been open.
Tell you what. Why don't you go take a peek at that corpse and maybe you'll understand.
Driven, keep an eye on her.
Sure.
And just
Keep an eye.
Only to be precautious down here.
Oh yes, wouldn't want to hurt my feelings.
Well, you do look a little blue. That was
You-
a joke!
You've been awake for like 5 minutes. You cannot be making those jokes so early. Oh, like I feel pain on that one. Ugh. Go over, take a look at the body.
I cannot stand conversation. You lean over this body, and similar to the one that you found in the pavilion, this one apparently was struck from behind with some type of cutting weapon. There's damage on the ribs and the vertebrae from behind, and it fell forward, and a finishing stroke was delivered to the skull, actually, cleaving into it, which was almost assuredly the fatal injury. The blood stains left on the floor have long since turned black and stained the stone. Curious that the Velstrax didn't seem to care about its presence, but judging from the cutting and almost the execution of it, it's not a Velstrax style to do this. But as you examine this, you hear audibly ringing through the room a sort of tingling bell, almost reminiscent of a dinner bell. Exactly. Will ring out, and a rough vision will sweep through the room. A human woman, looking to be about, early 20s, late teens, is running through the room, panicking, looking over her shoulder, her eyes wide before a wordless scream erupts, and she twitches and jerks as though struck by something. Collapsing to the ground, she'll try crawling towards the door before again her head is struck by something. You can't see the assailant in the vision, but the violent end that she suffers is very, very clear. And then the vision breaks for all of you, and you see the corpse there again. You heard it, didn't you? The bell?
Yeah, and that was a knife in the other one. That was an axe. I know axe wounds pretty well, and get through a skull with one?
Not an axe. Close. Guess again.
Cleaver.
Yes! You're smarter than you look. Cleaver. And you heard the bell, too. I might actually have something interesting happen.
Oh, is it dinner time and we're dinner?
Maybe it's dinner time. And then she'll wait or beat. And then her eyes will kind of flutter down. No, not yet. He's not awake yet.
Who is he?
Go down that way. And she'll kind of gesture out towards a door on the far side of the room. Go explore some more. Please, if you can, try to run back through this room and make some noise when you do. It's been so long. Oh gosh, it hasn't been... Well, there was that one about a year ago.
Huh?
I don't suppose any of you want to be tortured?
Not
Not
particularly.
willingly, no.
Oh, no, that's okay. I mean, no.
Then just go on. When you come back through here, try to scream and run a little bit. It makes for a good show. And her eyes will just flutter back closed, and she'll just go back to slumping in the chair.
Is this normal for discourse?
No.
Oroku-san, well, it's that time again. It's time for another villain point. Take this, do crimes. I hear and obey.
Oh, if there's anything that Nick's dice rolls whenever he uses any type of reroll, it is always a crime for him.
Well, you know what? You're talking. You're talking a good talk.
over
You
there.
have a history, my friend.
Well, I suppose we should go down this hallway. I am interested to see what is down there, but I would like to know for our future if we can think about this is a sad. This is left here, but I think we should go for now.
For now.
Okay. I didn't like the sound of that bell.
I mean,
There's
Kind of
likely
nice.
something on this floor. Hunts down people. It's not awake yet, like that one said.
I'm shifting my lead
Okay, what would you like to shift your lead to?
to whoever he is.
Whomever he is, which lead would you like to drop for it?
Probably currently.
Carmen Sandiego?
You have Cult of Nimbleoth generally, and then you have the exit to get out of here.
Right now, I'm not too worried about the cult. I can focus on them later. I'm more concerned about leaving and figuring out who is committing these brutal murders, because getting through the back of someone's skull with a cleaver is still a task.
Yep.
Of all the weapons to do it with, Cleaver's pretty good at it.
It's
though.
good at it,
I mean, if you had to pick something out of a kitchen to do it with, that would
Yeah.
be the best choice.
but like the back of the skull's pretty thick.
The star of our new show, leave it to Cleaver.
Oh, I don't want to leave
shot.
anything to him.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to lead the way towards the other passage.
Sounds good. You go and move further south, and you will open this door.
Missed.
And the door opens out into, it's actually, as you move up to it, it was easy to overlook at first. But this door is designed to be concealed, but it's really not that great. Like, the Velstrak literally just pointed at it. And when you look at where she's moving, it's like, oh, that's a door in the wall.
So it turns out if when you're in the torture room, they aren't really expecting you to remove yourself from the torture.
No, not really, no. And so you make your way through this door, and it opens into a rough-hewn rock tunnel. You hear what sounds like scratching and scrabbling that gets more and more excited as you move further down this tunnel. And
Smell anything weird?
yeah, you smell something familiar, actually. Give me a
Kobolds?
perception check.
Is it bacon?
Only a 10.
Only 10. It's familiar, but you can't quite place it. However, it only takes you a few steps. As you round the corner, the cavern opens out, and you see a row of cages along the wall. One of them lays empty, but the other two are occupied with sort of a scaled, leathery, almost arachnid-like creature with glistening oil coating its scales. These
We've seen
are
these.
Scalthrax. You all ran into one of these that apparently was teleported in the midst of the Otari graveyard in the middle of you all while you were investigating the happenings. From the Gauntlight, it would appear. Indeed, there are two more of them here who are in cages, who are staring at you hungrily.
So there's the two cages and then one.
And then there's one
missing.
that's empty.
Yeah.
Exactly. It looks like it may have been occupied. But these Scalthraxes begin violently smashing against the doors of their cage. But the cages appear to be holding for now.
Oh, how pretty.
No, they
I
want to
agree.
kill and eat you.
You know, very mesmerizing in their beauty.
You know what the benefit of these things is? Pulls out a little jar. They're real flammable.
Oh, that's convenient.
They could be cooked and eaten.
They
Are
can
they
be lit on
tasty?
fire.
They are, yes.
I've never eaten one before.
You wait. Well. I mean, obviously, we have things to do then.
They are redoubling their efforts against the grates. The cages appear to be fairly sturdy, designed to hold them in, but they're starting to shake a bit as they're having their bodies thrown against them.
Maybe we should just, see if we can talk to them.
No, that ain't happening. Just rear an arm back to go to throw the bomb.
We only need to eat one if we want to talk to the other.
Okay.
So you haul your arm back. I'm not going to put you in initiative just yet, but you throw a bomb. You had to roll to hit. It is going to have some cover from the cage.
Well, gonna devise first, because if they're not busting out yet, I'm gonna take my time to see when they're jumping up at the edge.
You
when's
are
a good spot to hit
literally
them.
shooting fish in a barrel, so...
That's a 14, so that's going to be a 25 to hit.
25 to hit. You thread it through the bars of the cage. This thing smashes into them, and it erupts into fire and starts shrieking. Some embers actually splash onto the next cave, and which also catches a bit. And after, don't worry about the damage.
Okay.
And the scent of burning flesh quickly starts to fill the room. The Scalthraxes both back away into the corners of their cage. The one of them very badly burned, the other one quite cowed, and they stop assaulting the cage doors.
Well, at least got them to calm down.
Leave them be for now.
Yeah.
We've dealt with one, we can deal with the others if they need to be dealt with.
They don't smell as good as I thought they would, so I suppose we can deal with them later.
And Nil, you've got enough nature to know that these things are... They're not animalistic. They are intelligent and certainly malicious. However, they recognize that with fire on their, with you all having fire weapons, that they are at a tremendous disadvantage, and in fact are dead to rights. So they are cowed and probably terrified.
Already pulling out a second jar.
Well, didn't we hear scratching around? It wasn't there scratching coming from down here?
They
Well,
got, like,
there
big old
is
8
an
legs or
empty
kittenness.
cage. I do wonder.
That was the one that got teleported in the graveyard, I'm pretty sure.
Let's
It's the exact same creature.
Well, if I look around, what does the rest of the room look like? Is there?
It's a pretty rough-hewn cave, honestly. Like there is a floor, kind of. It's not finished. It looks like this area was literally just carved out, and maybe as an afterthought, and then someone's like, oh well, we can keep these monsters in here, and so like put some cages in to keep them separated, and then just chucked them in here.
Well, we're looking for, what is it, a hatchet of some sort? I don't see anything like that around here.
There isn't really, no.
Perhaps.
If I were to look very closely, can I spend some time looking around, seeing if there's like, their secret doorways are like the place at time?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. Give me a perception check.
Just since we are looking for something in particular. 12 plus 11 is 23.
23. So looking around, you can see that if ever there were obvious secret doors, it seems that almost no effort was put into at least concealing them from this side. You do go ahead and notice that the passageways actually, well, typically a secret door is like you're in a room and there's like a wall panel or something that blends in. You have a rough-hewn cave and a literal passageway chiseled through the rock that ends at what appears to be a wall. And then another passageway where you came from to the torture chamber that ends at a wall. It is the most obvious secret doors ever. There's one that leads to the east, which if you were to trace it with your survival skills, you would place as probably opening about halfway down the sarcophagi hallway that you just came in.
Oh.
And there's another one heading further south, which winds around and ends at another wall, which would put it a bit further south than that. You haven't been there yet.
Well, if we need to escape with haste and we don't want to go through the room of the very nice blue lady, we can go maybe through this door.
But it's not going into that mist.
Wait, wasn't that in the sarcophagus room that we just left? Like
There was some further down in it.
Yeah, so can I open the door just to see if I can just go?
Yeah, which door? The one that goes out to
the one that goes into the sarcophagus. I'm looking for a way out if we do get chased by a man that I don't want to go into the blue.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, you peer out and it actually does indeed open up into the ghost walk hallway.
Okay.
And you can look down and actually clearly see it's actually further down than you went originally. You can clearly see where the that wall of fog is on your right hand side with shrieking faces swirling in and out of it. But yeah,
at least for in case, just in case.
Hey, it's a good second way out. I mean,
yes. And then there's another one over there. I guess we can continue that way. Look out! Be on the lookout for hatchets.
The only other way we got to go
Cleavers.
is those stairs. So onward.
That's a fascinating phenomenon. What happened with the fog?
We don't know.
Showed up.
Currently, we are of the it exists and we can do nothing about it.
Yeah, I'm trying to find a way out of here, but there
It
ain't been much signs of.
smells odd. Can I take a look at it?
It's solid, but it ain't there.
so you'll take a peek at the fog wall, right? It is looking at it, you can see probably more clearly than any others that this barrier has almost been. It's actually incidental. That's what you realize. And as you're looking at it, again, these impressions of faces and hands pressing through the opposite side of the veil, you can almost picture an event take place that happened not too long ago. The ghost walk here was originally designed as a prison to hold these spirits in with their corpses. However, something happened. A surge of power emanated from somewhere to the south, rippling up through the ghost walk. And as this wave moved, you could see it breaking, not entirely, but cracking the shackles of the spirits that were trapped in their sarcophagi. And as this wave traveled forward, creating these cracks across the sarcophagi, at least spiritually, if not physically, you could see these souls pull themselves out of their bodies, meld through the sarcophagus lids, and then almost as a piece, turn their eyes south to the stairway that you can make out through the haze leading downwards. And in a wave, you sense their vengeance surging downwards. These were foes of Belcora that have managed to leak their spirits out. And seeking vengeance, they storm south only to crash against some sort of defense in Gauntlight, possibly tuned just for spirits, because you don't sense anything that would stop you physically. However, a side effect of them constantly pounding on this barrier is that the spirits have sort of created this ectoplasmic film over it, which seems to stop you physically from progressing.
Oh, we need to calm them down if we want to get out of here. They're very angry at her.
Oh,
Understandably.
Yeah. So am I.
I have not gone through much of calming people down. I do not know.
You seem like you'd be very good at it. I feel very calm around you.
Thank you. Thank you. I think that's mostly just because you have a good taste in food, and that I am very good at calming people down.
Well, maybe that other way has I don't know how to calm spirits down. Maybe there's something
Maybe
agitating
if we
them.
throw a cleaver at them, they will be less.
We should go
I think
south.
it would just make them more.
It's coming from the south.
Well, we can't go through the wall, so we can't go that way. We have to go the other way.
Exactly.
We'll explore every avenue.
The opposite of south is north.
Well,
Right?
that's where we
Right.
came from, is the altar.
Yeah, we're going west.
We're going west, and then wherever that path leads.
South, in fact, is where that path leads.
There you go.
Moving your way back into, you pass the Scalthrax pens, which are, again, wholly cowed, recognizing you as people.
Holy cowed?
Well, they're not.
Just kind of toss the bomb in hand, looking at them, just...
Give me the rim shot, Corey.
I believe you should have said fully. You did it to yourself there.
Well, moving on.
Make a new character.
Yeah.
Waterfall.
And the Scalthrax eat you.
Hey, about those spirits.
And the spirits grabbed you away for bad puns. Actually, it was pretty good. I wish I'd thought of it. You follow this twisting path south, and it ends again at another very obvious secret door. Some fiddling is easy enough a way of opening it, and it will swing out into what appears to be a kitchen. The kitchen itself opens out into a dining room, and there are a number of side rooms and suites, all with doors open. And the area is very pleasantly lit. There are lanterns hanging from the walls, which glow with a yellow, almost a warm light. No flickering at all, just a calm glow. A chandelier in the center of the room has that same glow to it. And indeed, it would be quite picturesque. Stepping into the room, in fact, you are, again, the room seems to twist and shift, and you are presented with a view of a dinner party. The table that is set is heaped with wine bottles and goblets and platters of cooked meat, stewed vegetables, a fruit display. Very well done. Seated around the table are various characters that are dressed in a very archaic style. Those of you with any amount of society are going to this would be like walking into a room and seeing people dressed up in like Renaissance era costumes. Like that's how old-fashioned these people's dress are. But you would recognize them as this is like these guys are well off. However, all of them look hard, like they have some sort of an edge to them. They're not relaxed. They're all a little bit like on edge. No surprise, because at the head of the table, you see an image that you only previously saw a painting of. And in fact, Eris has never seen at all. This would be a woman who is rather tall, with a cruel twist to her face, wearing a flowing red dress. and she is talking, gesturing with grand motions to her arms to the men at the table. Society types might actually get this. Not Aris, you've been out of the game for too long, but Corwin, actually everyone else has some society. Why don't you all go roll me some society, see if you recognize these people.
That is a 17.
21.
Natural 20.
Oh, nice.
Y'all have no idea.
Yeah.
But
So 30
Corwin remembers hearing a tale of an organization called the Shadowed Hand. And the Shadowed Hand had styled itself as the Thieves Guild of Absalom. Now, Thieves Guild is a nice term that is sort of whimsical, but really describes like the mafia. It was quite possibly one of the most powerful organized crime organizations to ever try to seize Absalom and take control of its underworld. And were actually able to thwart the guards with their resourcefulness. However, you do recall that it eventually fell apart and became defunct a number of centuries ago. And however, the costumes and the people here and the insignia they bear seem to indicate that these men all belonged to this ancient organized crime organization.
The Shattered Hand?
Shadowed Hand.
Shadowed Hand.
Belcora goes and waves gesturesly, and you can almost, through the vision, hear this speech that she's giving, promising wealth and riches to these men in exchange for her support, that the vaults of Absalom's elites will finally be open to them, for she will provide them with the magics, and in return, they simply need to smuggle her agents in and out of the city as needed. It's at this point that a serving girl enters into the room. It's the same girl that you saw the vision of, who seemed to meet a violent end from something in the torture room. She comes over, a bit tense, and leans over and whispers something into Belcora's ear. And Belcora's face flickers very quickly, almost unnoticeably, but very briefly her face takes on a twisted vision of absolute rage before the mask is back on and she's all pleasant smiles. She will make a conciliatory gesture, apologizing to her guests and saying that some very urgent business has come up. I must return to the upper levels, but please enjoy the feast that's laying before you. I will return shortly once it's dealt with. As she picks up a dinner bell and rings it on the table, and you can see in the background in the kitchen the chef, who is sort of a massive man wearing a chef's apron, very fancy chef outfit and a hat, sort of like twitches and stands up. And she'll say, "The next course, please." And she will sweep over into one of the rooms, close the door behind her, and never show up again.
I wonder what might have happened.
Vision fades. Yeah, exactly. Why could she have been called away so quickly? The vision fades, and instead of the guests around the table, you see that the decorations on the table are still there, but scattered in disarray. And instead of the criminals eating and making merry, instead there are 4 skeletons dressed in old finery in various forms of twisted torture that apparently happened to the last of them. Some of them clutching at their throats, some of them slumped over their table. It doesn't take Corwin's keen investigative eye too long to realize that they may have been poisoned. Looking around the area, you can see that there are other corpses. There's a corpse that has been inside one of a storage room, slumped over. And looking back into the kitchen, you see it was almost easy to overlook, but the corpse, a massive corpse that's about, it's a skeleton, but large in stature, must have been the chef.
Does he have a cleaver?
There is actually a cleaver that's clattered onto the floor right next to him. Although there's a number of knives, of kitchen knives in here, of varying levels of disrepair, having sat here for centuries.
Is the cleaver still sort of in a, not great state?
The cleaver is on the floor next to him. In fact, as you lean over to investigate the body, you go ahead and look at the chef, and you can see that one thing that stands out is that unlike the other corpses that you've come across, this one doesn't seem to have any gross trauma on any of the skeletons. And in fact, as you touch the body to check out, do a brief autopsy, you will see that a vision again will seem to come flooding back at you. And you can see that looking around, the chef stands alone in the kitchen. And he kind of puts his head up, his arms at his side, and sighs. My mistress, it is done. And behind him, you can see the corpses of the thieves, twisted, their eyes bulging from their skulls, their skin flushed red as they twitch and suffocate from the poison that he put into their meal. You can see the corpses of the servants that were apparently butchered by kitchen equipment and kitchen knives. He brings the kitchen knife up to his throat and cuts his own throat, blood pouring down before he drops to his knees and slumps over to his side.
Why would he do that? That's horrible.
Twisted dedication.
Yeah, because what Belcora wanted.
And as you look, the skeleton, again, that ringing of a bell would echo out. And except it lingers, almost echoing off the walls back and forth. And the skeleton seems to glow a bit before flesh seems to almost regenerate onto it until it becomes less of a skeleton and more of a mummy, and then less of a mummy and more of a full corpse.
Already moving away from it at this happening.
And then it twitches a bit, and its hand raises and grabs the knife before pushing itself back up and turning to face the lot of you and raising the knife. And it will mutter, "Kill them all, and then myself." And it staggers towards you. And that's initiative time.
So, I would have liked to have been recalling knowledge.
That sounds reasonable. You all could have plenty of time to go and changing up your exploration activities however you'd like.
Can I get my oddity identification on this one?
Oddity identification, I think, is only good for items. But I'd certainly let you use.
Can I use occultism? And is this thing occultism, or is it religion, or is it?
You know what? I'll let you use occultism. That could work.
Okay. 15.
15. Put you right over here.
13.
13. I'll put you right over here.
10. Because I can only roll ones on initiative.
Well, you know what? If you had to pick something to roll ones on.
I'm okay with it.
So I'm inspecting this body as it is happening.
Yep.
Could I roll medicine?
Sure.
All right. So this is going to be a plus 15.
That's pretty high.
That's a 28. 13 on the die.
Alrighty. So let's see where we are. We've got everybody here, and just
Oh, that is
That's
beautiful.
Jimbo.
in the kitchen.
That guy looks like a professional wrestler.
That
We'll
looks
probably put Noel
like
back out in the hallway, actually. This will be perfect. Just leave them at their horrifying looking in at what's coming up and standing up. So this chef corpse gets up, and he is huge. He towers up, actually even taller than Drevin, about a full head taller than Drevin, and looming over you, dragging this kitchen knife in his hand. And Corwin is the only one who has the wherewithal to react quickly as he does this.
Going to just quickly slam the door shut, grab from like just whatever he can find that is enough to possibly jam this door shut.
Want to spend a supply?
Definitely spending a supply to do this.
You pull out some climbing pythons that could spike that door.
And going to try to crafting to just like keep this door shut.
Give me a crafting check.
This is a plus 13. That is a 30 total. 17 on the die.
Nice.
Heightened.
I don't know what that thing is. We have to find a way out of here.
And the door pounds with some sort of force that has smashed against it.
Oh.
And it pounds again, and a fist that's this big punches a hole through the door. And then another one, and the door itself will smash into flinders, and this gigantic figure is on the other side. Kill all, and then myself, so she orders. Nil, you're up.
Oh boy.
Well, we came looking for it, and we have found it. If I were to, let's see here. I wish you guys some good luck here. I'm just going to move to the other side of this table a little bit, and as I'm going along, I'm going to like tap tap, guidance, walk over to the other side of the room. Let's get rolling, guys.
You got 3 people to go guidance as you...
I'll do Corwin and Drevin,
Corwin and Drevin get some guidance.
just since I'm going to the other side, yeah.
Alrighty, moving over here, you can see a few things. First off, these doors are all open.
Oh, nice.
You've had time to look into them. The one to the north appears to be a wine cellar. The one to all of these are in pretty rough shape, by the way.
Right.
The one just south of that is entirely empty, except for a number of silver circles and runes carved all over it. It looks as though it's an intact portal chamber, although you haven't really had too much time to study it, but it is entirely enclosed. The one directly next to you is a storage room within which is a corpse of a murdered servant. And the one south of that is a what appears to be a refuse room, along with an open metal hatch in the floor. But anyway, that's what's around.
Okay, sweet.
Drevin!
Well, Big Man has now broken down the only barrier between my hammer and his face.
Oh, well, that was foolish of him.
Exactly. So we will try to introduce the two of them. It will be quite the romantic evening at the right here around the dinner table.
There you go.
26.
26. You smash that hammer right into his face. Roll me some damage.
Undead.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, also recall knowledge.
Sure.
Yeah, I would have probably been investigating the body. Like, for exploration, because that's what we were doing.
I don't think investigating is an exploration
It is.
activity.
That is the recall knowledge one.
Oh, you're recalling knowledge. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. All right, recalling knowledge. So, Drevin, oddities of how this thing got back up aside, you are not really
It's the Abomination
picking
balls.
anything else. It looks like just a really big zombie.
That's a corpse.
Alrighty. Well then, I'm gonna hit it and do... That's a 3, 5, 9 bludgeoning.
9 bludgeoning.
And, well, I
9?
guess...
Yeah.
It's
5 plus 4.
Don't you
It's
have,
7
disrupting
bludgeoning,
or something, or?
2 positive.
Okay, 7 bludgeoning, 2
2
positive.
vitality.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. All of it works.
Excellent.
And so you are, you slam this hammer into this thing's face. It doesn't even notice.
I would expect it to.
You did damage, but this thing is just like wham, and it feels like you're hitting like a giant side of beef, basically. You got 2 actions left, though.
I'll try again. It
Do it.
seemed to work perfectly fine the first time. So swinging with guidance, that is going to be an 18.
18. Again, you
Sorry,
smash
19.
into this thing. No effect. This one seems to just bounce off of it.
Alrighty, and
Didn't
with
beat the AC.
yeah, with that, So it's just dead bodies, table, open doors, and the way we came, basically.
Correct. But the way you came is on the other side of this guy. It's that
Yeah.
hallway.
Then I will step back in the hopes that he follows me out when his turn comes around.
Sounds
Giving
good.
him space to move out so we can bully him.
Sure. All right.
Bully him, strong optimism.
Iris.
So I have lore haunts. Can I use my lore haunts on that recall knowledge
You
check?
absolutely may.
I love it. I love it.
Okay. All right. So you look at this thing. Perhaps it's your unique connection to the boneyard and the souls that go there, and your unique understanding of what can keep it from happening. From the vision you saw, something compelled this man to murder the guests with poison and then hunt down and kill every servant in this area. And he did this clearly at the command of Belcora. You didn't see Belcora tell him this, but something about it, maybe something connected to that dinner bell that she rang before she left, had some sort of command involved in it. And he is loyally following out his orders. And from his last moments alive that you envisioned over his corpse, he did it. He should have no unfinished business. He successfully carried out his murder and then killed himself as his mistress commanded. And the fact that he is here means that the power of this place, and you can feel the energy in the walls, is keeping this echo of this spirit from moving on. His spirit isn't here, but the echo of it is, and that is what has animated this body. You aren't just fighting this thing, you are fighting the echo coming from the gauntlet itself. And so in your minds, you see this massive monster in front of you, but at the same time, it's almost like it's a puppet on the end of a massive tendril extending off into the darkness.
Oh God, this is so unnatural.
Oh,
I hate it.
Sure, even if you were to beat it down, if it would stay that way.
Oh, there's no point even killing it. It will just come back. The bell. Find the bell. Do I think finding the bell and maybe using the bell to try to break its Belcora's control over it here could help?
You think the bell was simply, and you got a nat 20 on this, by the way, which is why I'm literally reading you the instruction manual. The bell was just a catalyst. You need to find the source of the energy doing this.
Okay, so nothing's gonna break it.
Well, you need to find the source of the energy, and you
Yeah.
can break it there.
We should run. Killing this thing isn't gonna matter. It's just gonna come back. It's pointless. We have to find the energy.
I'll give you that as an action.
What's the quickest way out of here?
Well, there's a door to the south, which is closed. There is the way you came, which is being blocked by that guy. And the rest is as I have described. There is a hatch in the floor of the refuse room. You could look there or the door to the south.
South it is.
Okay, so you're going to run to the south.
Yep.
The door is locked.
You know what that's called? That's called my body moving through it at full speed.
Give me an athletics check.
Force open.
I just see a girl like sprinting and then slam up against the wall and just fall down and be like, huh, okay,
She
well,
kind of panicked a
was
little bit there. It's
insane."
kind of weird.
Or,
Oh,
you know, I could get an 18 on the
that's-
die, and that's a 31.
You just walk through the door.
You slam into this thing, and the latch gives way, and you manage to force the door open. Beyond this room, looks like a well-apportioned lounge with chairs and tables set up. The door swings violently inward, and that's about all you're able to get on your action. Corwin.
Step 1. Perception check the room to see if there's a bell anywhere.
Sure.
There's a lot of junk in here, but gonna try and find this thing.
You know what? Don't even worry about rolling. Your investigator sense are going to pick it up immediately. In fact, you actually see the exact dinner bell It's on its side at the head of the table, just sitting there.
Just rushes over and grabs it.
You grab it. It is finely crafted, very heavily tarnished, but otherwise rings perfectly clearly as you pick it up, and it rattles in your hand. You're not really sure what to do with this, but certainly you think Mocker would have found this fascinating.
Just kind of give it a look. How many actions would it have been to get to the head of the table and grab it? Just one action to get there and
one action
object
to,
interaction?
One action. You'll have one action left.
Okay. Just going to keep distance here and just look at the bell, ring it, and just go, servants dismissed.
Let's try.
Eh.
It does not appear to have an effect.
Worth a try.
This thing is going to step out of the doorway and raise a cleaver and bring it down at Drebin. For a... Where the heck are the attacks? Ah, there it is. For a 32.
That is exactly a crit.
Exactly a crit.
He rolled like a 3.
Yeah, probably.
All right.
He's like, nah, I was a 6, don't worry.
Makes it so much better.
34 slashing damage. This cleaver hits with an immense amount of force. And then he is going to get his fist and swing with a haymaker to try to catch you across the face with it. And that's going to be over here. 26.
That'll hit.
Yeah. We need to leave.
10 bludgeoning damage. And you are going to have stars kind of spark in front of your eyes. Give me a fortitude save.
A manly left hook.
A manly left hook, indeed.
Oh, no.
Nat 20.
Nat
Ooh.
20. You shake it off. You roll with that punch, and you're all right. This thing walks out here. You see it cut through Drevin's steel pauldron with this cleaver, and then haymaker him in the snout, blood flying out from the hit.
Oh yeah, we need to leave.
Nil, you're up.
I'm going to look at Drevin and be like, oh my goodness, and just wait until Drevin does his turn.
Holding. Incidentally, I suppose Iris would have gotten to the door, broken the door down. They do this sometimes on this map where they put a double
door to a door.
To, I guess, I could rationalize it away. It's a privacy door, but I think it's also to make the geometry work out well.
Oh yeah, maybe.
Yeah, you broke down the first door. The second door was just open, and you were able to see it. So
Okay.
there we go. Drevin, you're up.
I'm going to attempt to shove this thing back into the room and then run away.
He looks like his fortitude save is pretty low. Give it a
totally.
roll.
Looks like it's his lowest save. What are you talking about?
Give me that 20.
No, 17.
17. You run into this guy, and it is like a brick wall. You shoulder into him, and he just shoves you back, and you fall over.
That's a critical failure?
That's a critical failure.
That is impressive.
Yeah.
That is his highest save, in fact.
I didn't think that would be a critical failure. And then
Run.
I'm just going to stand up and run.
You will stand up, and where would you like to go?
Down to the other side of the table. Basically, just down to the door.
Down to the door? Alrighty. Nil, you can step in whenever you want. Iris!
Actually, I have enough movement to get, like, into the between.
Into the between area?
Yeah.
Alright, perfect. Iris,
Time
what
to
you doing?
run.
Or Nil, do you want to jump in?
Iris, you can go first.
Can I see what's in the room now? The room of mystery?
Well, Drevin did just kind of duck in front of you, but it looks like a
I'm so
lounge.
short I can see through his legs.
I mean, you might, actually.
I'm like literally 5 feet tall.
Give me a perception check.
He's not that big.
No, that guy's that big.
Yeah. But his legs are one full.
His
Well,
legs
I can
are
only
trees.
roll 1s and 18s. It's a 1. It's a 10.
Well, there's a big old knoll in the way, and he kind of pushed past you a bit and kind of spoiled your view.
I'm gonna crawl under his legs.
Then you're gonna get in that room. All right, you crawl past him, kind of make your way through. It's difficult terrain, but you're able to make it in there. And you kind of skip off to the side,
I'm
let everyone in. You are fleet actually. You move through there and stumble into the lounge, looking behind you. This chef has been kind of scanning at all of you, just kind of looking left and right. As you and Drevin came through the door, he's no longer looking in your direction. He's just looking at Corwin and Nil now.
Get out of there. He won't pay attention to you if you're not in that room.
And the next, how's it look in there?
It-
Another
It's
one?
fine.
Looking into this room, quickly glancing around, you see that there is a desk that's been set up. There's a lounge, and then there's a screen that kind of blocks a portion of the room that you're not able to see behind. But that's about all you get.
Go check behind the screen, see if there's a door there.
You're gonna move into the room. Moving behind the screen, you can see that it conceals a bathtub.
Great.
Upon you just looking around in here, it looks like a bit of a dead end.
We need to find another way out. Other way, Drevin.
Nailed the chute.
Okay.
The chute.
Okay.
It should go back towards where we had.
Perfect. I'll do that. I'm going to look at the man. I do think you're really cool. And then I'm gonna go into try and see if I can't go see what's in this refuse room.
All right, the refuse room. You go and look in the refuse room, and you see there's hey, look, another servant corpse who was kind
Howdy.
of look at that body reaching for the chute. The chute is open, and it is a steel chute that's quite rusty. And peering on down with your dwarven eyesight, you see it actually leads down into the cavern below, and you will recognize both the Otiu corpse and the pool of rancid water underneath the end of it.
Oh. Sweet. Well, I guess we could go this way. This way is probably okay. I will jump down, I guess, and see how much fall damage I take.
Well, alrighty. Go ahead and give me an athletics check if you want to kind of control your descent.
Yeah, I do my little like legs on the side, hands sliding down,
Pants on the
trying to
ground.
aim for the corpse.
Nice.
That's pretty good. So what is that, athletics?
Yep.
That is a 17 total.
17 total. Okay. You are not able to control your descent.
Okay.
However, you will take no fall damage because it will just dump you right into the pool of rather slimy, rancid water. But you will land with a bloosh, a smash, and you will be, apparently you'll have escaped for now.
For now.
And you find yourself down there, quite sputtering, but you managed to survive the trip down.
Help! I'm a dwarf. We don't swim.
If you take a toe, you can get your face above water. It's about 3 feet deep.
This is a pit
so
of
I
refuse.
wouldn't take full damage, or no?
Huh?
So wouldn't I take full damage, or does it slide?
You landed in the water, so
Oh, okay.
yeah, it cushioned you enough.
Okay, sweet.
Corwin.
Gonna follow suit. Rush over towards that open room with the chute and head on in.
So moving at a brisk run, you can make it. You dive into the room. Give me an athletics check to control your descent if you'd like.
Could I try it with acrobatics? Just kind of like trying to
Cartwheels.
shift and like catch myself on open spots that I can find and slow it enough.
Dexterity instead of brute force.
Yeah, trying to be more dexterous than like I'm just thunk.
Well, I'll give it to you. It'll be harder because you are going to have to brute force yourself a little bit here.
You know what?
But go ahead and roll
I'll
it.
take
'Cause
a
I think
harder-
you're just so bad at athletics.
I will take a harder DC because even if it's like 2 or 4 higher, that's an 8-point difference.
Sounds like a reasonable choice.
-1 versus +7. So,
Go for it.
That's only a 12 total, but that's gonna be better than the 4 it would have been.
All right, well, that's a great way to look at it. So Nil kind of sputters a bit and like kind of comes back up, and then Corwin just bodily comes off, and you get to see him get really big all of a sudden and crash on top of you.
Just diving. I don't care how hard
No,
this hurts,
you're
I
not,
need out of
you're
here.
not graceful and diving at all. You just like belly flop on Nil's head. You're both going to take 5 bludgeoning damage.
I'm
resent
Nil
that.
gets buried back under the water, coughing and sputtering.
5 bludgeoning damage is better than a 30+ axe hit.
And the butcher is going to, as only Drevin can see, completely ignore you, stride into the refuse room, and squeeze down into the hatch.
Are we talking like
He's full down here.
duck butt in the air squeezing in?
That's pretty funny with like little feet kicking in the air. But no, he just kind of puts one foot down, grabs the ledge, and then squeezes himself down. And you and old Corwin really can see just a foot come in, step onto the chute, one hand reach down, grab the chute in an iron grip, and he pull himself through.
Help!
We will have to see how this plays out. Drevin and Iris apparently have found a room where the butcher will not follow, but they see no obvious exit. Nil and Corwin have escaped, but the butcher is in hot pursuit. And from what Iris was able to see, it may be almost impossible to put down for good. Now, will they figure it out? Well, we'll just have to see. Please join us again next week on Abomination Vaults, UGT, Undeniably Good Time Entertainment Network. Please check out our sponsors in the lower right-hand corner. Use promo code UGT Show. Get a little bit off on Eldritch Foundry, Norse Foundry, and Arcan Forge. And check out our other shows, Secrets Between the Stars on Wednesdays, and Strange Aeons Chapter 3 next Saturday. Thank you so much for being with us.
Well, this Saturday.
This Saturday.
Yeah, 23rd.
Yeah. Sunday.
This Saturday, not next Saturday.
It's the next coming
The
Saturday.
next implies after the next one.
I'm gonna
Oh,
murder
hush.
both of you.
Anyway,
God, I missed the boneyard.
have a good night.